Tarrio was among the mob of Trump supporters who claimed the 2020 election was stolen. Hundreds were charged with federal crimes after storming the Capitol, and even though they were later pardoned by President Trump, many were back marching today because they say full justice has not been served.
I don't want any violence to happen to those people that perpetrated these crimes against humanity, against Americans, but I want them to pay.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
President Trump is huddled with House Republicans in a session that was billed as aligning their agenda at the start of the crucial midterm election year. Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky says he is focused on the Venezuela attack and feels other Republicans should be as well. And he says of a war powers vote,
we're going to debate it on the floor tomorrow, and the vote will probably be on Thursday. I think it's one of the most important things that we do debate in Congress, and that is, when do we initiate war? Who has the power to initiate war?
On another note, President Trump has told House Republicans, quote, got a lot of oil to drill. A Department of Energy spokesman confirms a meeting with executives from Chevron, ConocoPhillips, and Exxon with Energy Secretary Chris Wright will take place in Miami on Wednesday. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
What energy companies really care about is stability, the rule of law, market forces, and long-term operational considerations. Those are the things that they consider before they make major investments. And those things just aren't present in Venezuela right now.
Wyoming State Supreme Court strikes down 2 laws, meaning abortion is still legal there. Our CBS's Allison Keyes.
In a 4-1 ruling, Wyoming State Supreme Court ruled the 2 laws barring abortion violate the state's constitution. One of the laws was the nation's first explicit ban on abortion pills. Wyoming has a constitutional amendment that says competent adults have the right to make their own health care decisions.
A Republican member of the House has died. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Congressman Doug LaMalfa died during emergency surgery. President Trump ordered the flags flown at half-staff as a sign of mourning and respect for the late California lawmaker. LaMalfa's death further erodes the slim GOP majority in the House. Presently, there are 218 Republicans and 213 Democrats. This means the Republicans cannot lose more than 2 GOP votes in the House, assuming all members are present and voting, and still pass anything on a party line vote. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Wall Street is trading in record territory for the second straight day. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
Up to 4 feet of snow could dump in the mountains. Details coming up at first. KIRO News Radio Traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Heather, let's update you on our water main break. Northbound East Marginal Way, diagonal. Crews are still working on this water main. It's going to be a while till it's repaired. Right now, all 3 lanes are blocked, but they've managed to cone off a little lane there through the intersection for traffic to squeeze by. This is by Arena Sports, if you're familiar with the area. We've got a wind advisory in effect at the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, and due to high winds, the Port Townsend-Coopville Ferry Route has canceled a few sailings, but they just announced they will resume again with the 12:30 sailing out of Port Townsend. But they remind us with high winds throughout the day, it's likely we will see more cancellations. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. Skiers and snowboarders, it is the forecast you've been waiting for. Up to 4 feet of snow could drop in the mountains over the next couple of days. This will also make it a challenge for drivers, but WashDOT tells KIRO 7 TV crews are ready.
Our crews are out there 24/7, and they're going to work their darndest to keep Snoqualmie Pass open.
Snoqualmie Pass, a vital route, not just for travelers, but freight. A winter storm warning is in effect until 4 p.m. Thursday. Get ready for canceled ferry trips between Mukilteo and Clinton starting today. A hard landing damaged a wing ball at the Mukilteo terminal, and workers need to get it back into place. The cancellations are scheduled between 8:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. The man accused of carjacking a Washington state trooper, Alex Eugene Smith, he faced a judge. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha was there.
Prosecutors filed several charges against Smith, including robbery and attempting to elude police. Smith's attorney requested a competency evaluation.
Right, yeah, we'll order the competency evaluation.
It was Christmas morning when a Seattle man saw a suspect steal a Washington State Patrol cruiser on Interstate 5. Bo Stone's video shows a trooper pulling up to check on someone, but then that person hops in the driver's seat and speeds off. He was eventually caught in Linwood after officers used a pit maneuver to stop the stolen State Patrol vehicle.
Seattle police have made an arrest in the deadly shooting at a hookah lounge on Rainier Avenue South last month. Casey McNerthney with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
When everyone was getting ready for their New Year's, there were still police investigators and prosecutors working to make sure that this was filed with the court.
The break came when a witness saw the suspect making a getaway on a Lime scooter. Police subpoenaed Lime records, and that led them to the suspect, who's now being held on $3 million bail. With Seattle sports teams playing at the top of their game, merchandise is a hot commodity. More from KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman.
From the heating press. The box that I picked up of about 150 shirts, the box itself was warm. So that's how fresh off the presses these T-shirts are. To the storefront. Seahawks playoff merch is hitting the shelves. You can feel the community kind of coming together to rally around the Hawks, and it's a fun time to be a 12. It's the first time ever the Hawks and the Mariners have both won their division in the same year. Something businesses like Simply Seattle say is great for business.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with highs in the mid-40s. It's 43 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday, January 6th. Jake Skorheim here, sitting alongside Spike O'Neill.
Happy Tuesday.
Here he is.
Tuesday.
We have a lot of stuff to get to today.
Big news day.
Every day, there's a lot of stuff, it seems. We had a story yesterday about, there was kind of this, she said, they said about whether or not, we'll just jump right into first things first here. In the city of Seattle, there was this conversation about this new policy, allegedly, from the mayor's office, the new mayor, Katie Wilson, that they were no longer going to be making open-air drug use arrests, and instead they were all going to be diverted to the LEAD program, which is the Law Enforcement Assisted something.
Deferment.
Yeah, there you go. We then had Katie Wilson on the John Curley show yesterday, and she says, no, there's no new policy change. I don't know where you heard that. This is all just rumors. This is the horrible thing about rumors. And yet we have emails from the city attorney's office.
The new city attorney, right?
Sean Barnes sent this email where he talks, it's not from the city attorney's office, but Sean Barnes, where he talks about new programs that effective immediately, I'm just quote from his email here, effective immediately, all charges related to drug possession and or drug use will be diverted from prosecution to the LEAD program. And these were updated from the city attorney's office. I assume he's getting this from the attorney's office. So now we're confused. So what's happening? Is this a policy? Is the mayor of Seattle saying that this is not policy? Is it, isn't? Help us make sense of this. Luke Ducey, who joins us now. Luke, welcome to the show.
Hey, well, thanks for having me. It seems to, a lot of questions.
What's happening, Luke?
A lot of questions, but it seems to be kind of making sense now. It has been a whirlwind
Make it make sense
of a weekend
to us, because I'm still confused.
All right,
so talk slow and use small words. Thank you.
That's what I have. I need that for myself. Okay, so this started out with an email, a Happy New Year email to staff from Chief Sean Barnes, Seattle Police Chief, January 1st. He said, okay, from now on, from this point forward, all drug cases for possession and use of drugs are going to be diverted to diversion programs, the LEAD program, rather than prosecution. That right there would be a policy shift. That is a policy decision right there. So that's what he kind of outlined and described. I think that was explosive within the department, probably, no doubt. And I think that was, if I had to guess, was leaked or shared, or however you want to say it, to people outside the department, maybe the Police Officers Guild. I'm guessing, I don't know. Police Officers Guild ran with that because that is an explosive change. The LEAD program is based on an officers using their own discretion, boots on the ground. I come up to you, Jake, not that you use drugs, but let's say I saw you using fentanyl.
Go with me as the example. It's more believable.
No. This is more fun. Yes.
Okay, you're using fentanyl because no one would believe that ever. And I'm an officer, and then
please,
the
sir,
LEAD program
I just gotta have my fentanyl.
That I can use my discretion. Hey, if you're like a first time I've ever seen you on the street, then maybe there's a chance I can help you get off this. I can can get you into the LEAD program. We can get you some resources, some treatment, some help, some housing. Let's get you into that.
Yeah,
and let's
change
get you off
somebody's
fentanyl.
life. The officer says, hey,
Now,
kid,
if you're
going through life addicted to fentanyl, it's no way to go through life.
But if I come up to you and I see you smoking fentanyl, Jake, and I know you as a guy who's stolen 5 cars, you've done this, that, da-da-da, you've got a rap sheet. You know what, dude? You're not going into the LEAD program.
Yeah, no way, bro.
You're going to the pokey. That's
Okay.
it, right? Okay, that's what the LEAD program is all about. So it sounded to police that discretion was being taken away from them. The Police Officer Guild kind of ran with that narrative as well, that, police are not going to have the discretion on the street. You're stripping that power away from police.
They put out a very, very good statement. Yeah, well, it was good.
pretty charged.
It's a very specific statement where they said this is folly, this is a bad idea, this is going to lead to more crime, more death, all that stuff.
Nonprofits were chiming in too, saying, whoa, who are boots on the ground working with people suffering from addiction who need treatment, and others that, wow, this is going to lead to more drugs in the city. People are going to flock here now, more drug deaths, more overdoses. It's going to be a huge problem. So the mayor woke up to these headlines over the weekend after being sworn in on Friday, saying, whoa, what's going on? It made national headlines, some pretty inflammatory headlines, especially in the New York Post. You can look this up yourself. But yeah, she's like, whoa, there's no policy change. What the heck is going on here? SPD then came out with another email yesterday to clarify. And that follow-up message, they said that there were kind of 2 policies at play. The Seattle Police will continue enforcing drug laws and making arrests under department policy, but that the city attorney for Seattle will decide whether cases are prosecuted or diverted to treatment.
But the city attorney's saying we're not going to prosecute for these cases, right?
Well, no. So that's kind of true, but not really. So here's the newest. I just received a memo from the city attorney's office for Seattle.
Okay.
And what this memo, it's dated January 1st. It was sent to the criminal division within the CAO, because she's new, right? And now she's sending a memo to her people internally saying, hey, look, here's what we're going to do moving forward.
And this is from Erica Evans.
From Erica Evans.
Okay.
We're going to create a 2-person liaison team to filter, review all referrals from police officers. So police officers are still going to make referrals to whether or not they think that someone should go, Jake, you should go into the LEAD program, or whether or not you should be arrested, go to the pokey. You got to just prosecute this guy to the hill. He's not learning. That you can't do these bad things. So they're going to review all that, work with police officers to make sure they're doing everything that they can to support the LEAD program, make it work, and support officers. So, for instance, if an officer, as it was explained to me, comes to that liaison team and says, hey, this suspect, this Jake guy,
bad
he's
news,
gotta
buddy.
go. Yep. They'll say, yep, you got it. We're going to prosecute him. We're done.
Okay.
And and if someone goes through the program a little bit, but doesn't do the things that they're supposed to do, and this and that, prosecution is always an option as well. So that's where we are. Does that kind of ease everyone's?
No, it doesn't.
No.
I'm still confused.
No.
So why did they send out the initial email saying that we are not going to be prosecuting, we're not going to be making these arrests? I'm just going to read to you. Effective immediately, he said, this is from his email. I'll read it a little bit to you.
From Chief Sean Barnes.
This is from Chief Sean Barnes.
Sean Barnes.
As we begin a new year, new policies and procedures are inevitable, especially given the shifting political landscape our city has grown accustomed to. With that in mind, I want to inform everybody about an important update from the city attorney's office. So again, I don't know is he just speaking out of turn here? He just came up with that himself. But he says,
he got an email from the attorney's office, and he's conveying it to his
effective
crew.
immediately. All charges related to drug possession and/or drug use will be diverted from prosecution to the LEAD program. Full stop. So
Right.
you're telling me that the city attorney's office is now saying that that's not the case?
Well, they're not saying that because they can't speak on behalf, and they're not going to speak for for Chief Barnes. But what,
so he's wrong.
What they're
They're saying
describing,
he's wrong.
They're describing a scenario where there is a 2-person liaison team that's going to review those cases that are referred by police in order to make that program work.
Is this information Chief Barnes didn't have when he sent that email out?
These are great questions.
Because it sounds like a cleanup at City Hall is what it sounds like.
Well, it sounds like
let me put it
or
this
the
way.
city attorney's office.
Let me
I
put it
should
this
say.
way. When I was reporting this story yesterday, and I have a friend on the force. I have a couple friends on the force, several, and one of them said to me, as soon as they heard from the mayor is saying this is not a policy change. ... Heads are going to roll.
Somebody's getting fired.
Yeah, someone's going to get in trouble and this and that. And so I don't know who that would be, but let's just say that SPD did come out with a clarifying email after Chief Sean
clean
Barnes.
things up. That's always a sign that things are going smooth.
Well,
when you're sending clarifying emails the day after.
So to your point, I think someone was talking about this on the Gene Ursula show too, though. But I think to your point, there's a lot of messy going on here, and it's a lot of mess between the Seattle Police Department, the city attorney's office, and the mayor's office.
But okay, let me clear this up a little bit. Here's what I think happened.
Let's start right out. Hey, what happened?
Here's what I think happened. I think Erica Evans, who ran as a very progressive, like Ann Davidson was quite law enforcement backed. Law enforcement liked Ann Davidson.
Conservative, for sure.
Very conservative. People liked the job she was doing. We all agreed that we thought she was doing a fair job, right? Given the city she was working in. So she gets ousted by somebody who runs on kind of a very progressive platform. The very one that Barnes describes in his email is not surprising to me at all. If he says that new, what does he say here again? He says as we begin the new year, inevitably shifting political landscape. Okay, so you have new politicians in office. Update from the city attorney's office. Drug possession and or drug use will be diverted from prosecution to the lead program. That's very definitive to me. I don't think he would have just made that up on his own. That feels like a full-on policy change. So he must have gotten that from somebody. So he probably got that from the attorney's office. And then they saw the pushback that everybody was giving. And then there was this is all just my speculation.
Right. Sure.
Katie Wilson has a call with the attorney's office. She goes, hey, how do we back up a little bit here?
Put the
Because
toothpaste back
this
in
is
the
making
tube here.
national headlines that we're not going to prosecute for drug-related crimes. And side note, can we all be honest? When's the last time you drove through Seattle and you didn't see somebody doing drugs? It's not like they're cleaning up the streets a ton as it is.
Right.
So I think now they're trying to back it up. The train is already going down the tracks, and they're saying, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's at least put out headlines that we are going to try to figure out with this two-person panel how to get people into a diversion program, or if they need to be prosecuted. But again, that wasn't in Sean's email.
I think it, yes. And I think it works the other way that I just kind of ran through, if independent on how you believe and what you believe about the LEAD program. Is that a more progressive program? Someone like a Sheriff John Urquhart, who was on our air yesterday, would say you can't have one without the other. You can't arrest your way out of a drug crisis. You need programs like LEAD to help you do that, but you can't just have a LEAD program and not make arrests either.
You can't just have all carrot. You've got to have stick.
Now, people who would argue that LEAD works, you might find them falling on the more progressive side of the political spectrum.
Sure.
People who don't believe in LEAD or don't think that's the way, we need to build more jails and we really need to get tough on crime, this and that, might fall on the more conservative side. And so when you think about city attorneys that we've had in the past, and that now, if you compare those two, they couldn't be quite as opposite. I mean, especially in Seattle, if you get someone who's a little more conservative versus someone who is way on the far left, that they're democratic socialist, a lot of people think. I think that you might start to see also.
So I'm still not clear
whether you believe in LEAD.
So if somebody's doing drugs illegally, are they breaking the law in Seattle?
Yes.
Will they be arrested?
Yes.
And now
they'll be prosecuted.
Well, the fact that they'll be prosecuted today, as Luke's pointed out.
Well, they don't say they'll be prosecuted. They say there's a two-person panel that's going to decide who's prosecuted.
This prosecution's back on the table. It seemed like the new city attorney's statement out of the gate was that the prosecution's not on the table for these people, and they're taking that decision out of the police's hands.
I think here's the answer to your question. Yes, they'll be prosecuted. However, they're also going to go through a screening to see if we can get this person some help, and if they qualify for help through this LEAD program, we're going to make sure that we do everything we can to make this,
one of two
this
things,
LEAD program as robust as we can to make sure it works.
So here's what I want to know.
If it can work.
This is my question, and hopefully they
Where do you
get
go
back to us.
tomorrow? Jail or rehab? It's as Jake.
There's one or two things happening. A third thing that's not happening is that person stays on the street. So one of two things is happening now, according to the city attorney's office and according to the Seattle Police Department. You will either be arrested or you will go to a diversion program, which I'm totally fine with if it works. But if it doesn't work, then you get arrested and you can't do any more drugs on the street and rob local businesses and put people in harm's way, because those people are now doing one of those two things that were just mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the city attorney's office has said. Are we still going to see people on the street doing drugs then?
Of course.
Okay, so
there's not the
how is this better?
to end that.
And not only that,
how is this any of this?
I'm going to make it even worse for you. So what I heard yesterday was what I heard from the Police Guild, the union, and from other officers. The Police Guild has claimed that most officers don't even make referrals to the LEAD program. They say it's a waste of time. Why? Because we see them go through, they don't get clean up, and they go right back on the street. Yep. Well, Erica Evans. There's a quote I've been using with her that she spoke with KIRO 7 TV last night after she was sworn in last night officially, and she said, we got to make the LEAD program work, because otherwise the suspects and users and drug addicts are just going to end up right back on the street. So in other words,
they're not going to get arrested. They're not going to go to jail.
So both of them saying the opposite kind of one, that both lead to criminals going back on the street.
Why does that have to be? Why do the criminals have to be on the street? You know where I was the other day? And it was beautiful. My wife and I went to Bellevue. We took the boys and we went down there. We were doing some things. It was during the holiday break.
And what didn't you see?
Gorgeous. But what didn't I see? A bunch of people doing...
Floppers?
Yeah, a bunch of drug addicts, a bunch of prostitutes. Yeah. Bellevue has it figured out. Here's what I would suggest from Seattle. Call Bellevue and just ask them what's up. How are you guys figuring this out? Because Seattle's a beautiful city, but it also has people pooping everywhere and doing drugs out in the open and robbing places.
Yeah.
And if now you're telling me that you're going to do one of two things, I'm going to send you to a diversion program or I'm going to prosecute you, but I'm not really going to prosecute you. So are you really going to do that? No, it doesn't sound like it. Then we're arguing about nothing. And now we're just going to wait for somebody to get fired, it sounds like?
Well, I don't know. I think what we can write this off to is the new city attorney coming out of the gate with optimism and high ideals and issuing a statement that was like, wait a minute. You're telling the police department not to prosecute. We're all going to diversion and having to clean that up. And I hope I can write off to inexperience. And the mayor going, wait a minute. And I give the mayor credit here. Katie Wilson credit here. Goes, that was a mistake. Let's see if we can correct this. Let's make sure people realize. Yes, you will. Yes, you will go to jail, or you will go to treatment. And treatment's got to be. It can't just be it doesn't work. Don't make it an option. That's not a solution either. You admit to that. If treatment can work for folks, let's make it work then.
I'm all about treatment.
I know you are. That's what I'm saying.
I'm about shipping them away for treatment. I told you, I think they should take a lot of the money, the $2.2 billion they've already spent trying to get people off drugs. It's not working. It's gone by 25%. Send them over to the east side of the state where they got a lot of land.
Oh, that's Bellevue. Okay, sorry.
No, not to Bellevue.
You're going to ruin that town too.
No, I go to Bellevue. Don't go to Bellevue.
Okay.
No, send them over somewhere nice. Build a nice resort where it's nice. Everybody can walk around in robes. You're feeling good. You got the sun. The sun's really nice for everybody's skin. Just picks up your attitude as well. Everybody's over here has the SADs.
Vitamin C program.
Go over there. Get them off drugs. Get them hooked on some, paint pictures of the desert landscape, whatever you're going to do.
Yeah, build trails.
Get your mind right. Build some trails, whatever it is.
Sure. Put them to work.
Absolutely put them to work.
I'm not against whatever can get people clean and sober.
So every time you guys get to I bring it back to the gray area. It's not black or white. It's always gray, right? City Council member Maritza Rivera put out a release today. She, quote, found yesterday's news coming out of City Attorney Erica Evans' office concerning. I'm going to watch the impact of the city attorney's decision very closely. In the last 2 years, we've made significant progress in combating overdoses and have reduced violent and property crimes across our city. The last thing residents want is for Seattle to go backwards. So a lot of train of thoughts.
But that's from the Duh Institute of, this is concerning. I think everybody at the bar was saying that last night. I'm glad the city council also feels that way. That's nice because they have a hand in how this moves forward.
AI come up with a generic statement, send it out.
That's concerning.
I do feel like Seattle was starting to move away from where they were at during that whole depolicing debacle.
I'm with you,
now,
buddy.
I could care less. Diversion, arrest, whatever. But if there's people on the streets doing drugs that are illegal
and robbing people,
are they illegal or not? And if they're illegal,
yeah,
then do something about it. And if you're not going to do something about it, then why are you doing the job? That would be my question. I know you guys can't answer that question.
I hate to say, we'll find out, right? We'll find out. Proof is always in the pudding.
We're at the FO portion of the equation.
Get people some pudding. People love pudding. Luke's got a great idea. Get these people pudding. Get them off drugs. Get them hooked on pudding.
Year's off to a great start, isn't it? Great.
Wow.
Right out of the gate, baby. Welcome to January, everybody.
We're trying to get Chief Barnes on with us in a little bit. Hopefully he can help us, with a little more information on this and what Seattle police are doing. All right, that's Luke Ducey. Thanks for helping us make sense of this, Luke.
Thanks for having
me. Totally cleared it up for me.
Pudding.
We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
Toppled by the U.S., Manuel Noriega and Nicolas Maduro.
Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna joins us to talk about how the two cases differ and what happens next for Maduro.
The snow continues to pile up in the mountains. We'll have the latest on the winter storm warning.
And, of course, Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
Hope you can join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
On KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Hot air rises, and if your attic isn't properly insulated, that hot air is going to rise right through your ceiling, into your attic, and out your roof that's far past its half-life. That sounds cold and expensive. Get this, 25% of your home's heat loss is through your attic. So if your furnace is working overtime, it's time to call Valentine. And right now, Valentine has a great winter special. You can bundle attic insulation with any new roof, and you're going to save an additional 10% off your entire project. Plus, with Valentine's financing options, they make it easy. No matter what your home needs, insulation, gutters, siding, or a new roof, you are guaranteed the Valentine experience, which is seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service, even in winter weather. My home is protected by Valentine. They keep me off the roof, which my wife and kids are extremely grateful for. I trust them to help you too. To lock in this winter bundle savings, call 206 Roofing today. Again, that's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine vans, you know your home is in good hands.
Sniffles and sneezes got you down? GoodRx is here to help with big savings on commonly prescribed cold and flu meds. GoodRx is free and easy to use. GoodRx is accepted at all major pharmacies like CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens. Just search your prescription, find a coupon, then show your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx is not insurance, but it works whether you have insurance or not. If you do, GoodRx may beat your copay price. Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com to save today.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Frozen pipes, cold house, electrical issues. Get it all handled with one call to Home Comfort Alliance. Over 40 years doing heating, plumbing, and electrical right. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
It was an amazing military feat that took place.
President Trump at the annual GOP retreat talking about the U.S. arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife in a weekend raid in South America. The Trump administration accuses Maduro of being a narco-terrorist. Washington Congressman Adam Smith received a classified briefing about that raid, and he tells CNN.
We've signed on to a UN charter that says you can't violate sovereign territory in this way, even to arrest somebody who has an indictment against them. So therefore, we were clearly breaking the law and doing a regime change operation. That's not even debatable.
The White House disagrees. The January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol happened 5 years ago today. Former Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio, who was convicted of seditious conspiracy, today led a march to the Capitol.
The most feared people here in America, unjustly, is us, because we take action. We don't just talk about it.
Tarrio was among about 1,500 defendants who were pardoned by President Trump, but Pamela Hempill refused clemency. Today, she testified before House Democrats about how Capitol Police helped her as the mob went out of control.
Female officer came over and she was helping me, and she was so kind and so loving. And I thought, here, I'm one of the rioters.
The back and forth between Seattle's new mayor and the police chief about drug arrests continues.
After Chief Sean Barnes told officers to divert qualifying drug cases to treatment, SPD now says officers will still make arrests, with the city attorney deciding whether cases are prosecuted or diverted. Mayor Wilson adds,
we need to come up with that kind of like culture and protocol so that officers are able to make a good judgment on the ground about the appropriate response.
Past practices gave power to officers to choose between diversion or prosecution for suspects. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Drivers take note. Starting Friday at midnight, all northbound lanes across the Ship Canal Bridge in Seattle will be closed from I-90 to Northeast 45th Street until 5 a.m. Monday, January 12th. WashDOT's Julie Meredith says make alternate plans now.
That could mean finding alternative routes, leaving early or staying late, allowing more time to travel, taking transit when possible.
Crews are creating work zones for a long-term two-lane closure through 2026. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 497 points. NASDAQ ahead 138. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Heather. Nothing blocking on any of our major routes this noon hour. We do have road work still going on East of Marginal Way and northbound at Diagonal Avenue right by Arena Sports. Crews are working on this broken water main, so it's got all three lanes blocked, but they've coned off this narrow lane through the intersection, so traffic can squeeze by. And right now, really, the traffic isn't bad. If you're heading over the passes, it's a different story. It is dumping snow right now at Stevens and Snoqualmie. Chains are required on all vehicles except four-wheel drive at Stevens Pass. Eastbound over Snoqualmie, traction tires advised. If you're traveling westbound from eastern Washington, traction tires are required. Chains required on vehicles 10,000 gross vehicle weight and over. And White Pass, traction tires are required. Chains, again, on 10,000 gross vehicle weight and over. And oversized vehicles prohibited on all three passes. Blewett Pass has traction tires advised and oversized vehicles prohibited. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies with highs in the mid-40s. It's 43 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike, do you remember COVID? Which is a silly question.
I've blanked it out.
You probably blanked it out,
no,
like a lot of people did.
Brutally remember.
Do you remember during the middle of the pandemic, and this was actually really crazy, do you remember the biggest one for me that I remember is the run on toilet paper? There's news stories about toilet paper, and nobody could get toilet paper.
I remember seeing people lining up outside of stores at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
Wearing dirty pants. Just kidding.
When they should have been at the laundromat. No, I remember having to go from store to store to store for supplies. I remember people pushing carts through stores, flat carts through Costco.
Yeah.
Like they were opening a bodega. I mean, with like 20 bundles of toilet paper. I'm like, what do you guys have? Is it chili night? A chili month at your house?
100%.
And it's like, and you look at these people with like you.
Did you look at them with a disdain?
Oh, horrible.
Or did you go, you smart?
No.
SOB.
No. Until I was the first guy in line. Then
you did it.
Then I gave him that wink.
I remember.
Knowing nod.
So do you remember how it was crazy? How prices for everything were just going wild. And the reason I bring this up, there's a class action lawsuit. You guys can read about this on mynorthwest.com. It's really interesting because it highlights what will hopefully be the most bizarre time that any of us have to experience in our lives when it comes to national health issues.
Global health
issues.
And we're still feeling the effects today. We
Sure.
really are.
Yeah, in many ways,
You bet.
absolutely.
You bet.
But it was such a bizarre time, and prices on things were getting really high. So there's this class action lawsuit against Amazon.
Right.
And they claim, the people in this lawsuit claim, that Amazon did not stop sellers on their site, because Amazon is it's a third-party type of a place where somebody could get on and they could have a small little business and they can sell through Amazon's marketplace.
Sure.
And according to this class action lawsuit, consumers are accusing Seattle retailer of failing to prevent sellers from using the platform to charge flagrantly unlawful prices for food and other necessities. I'm going to read you some of these price inflations. We can debate whether or not they're justified. And then the news today is that a federal judge now has rejected Amazon's bid to dismiss this price gouging lawsuit. District Judge, U.S. District Judge Robert Lasnik found the argument unpersuasive, and he says that it is plausible to theorize that product shortages, public health directives, and shifts towards online purchases gave consumers, quote, no meaningful choice but to purchase from Amazon despite the allegedly unfair price it was charging. We can debate that in a second. I don't know if I agree with that, but these are some of the prices. They say that Aleve pain pills rose by, and I don't know why Aleve would, I guess people get like body aches during COVID. You get like the flu and you get sick.
Yeah. Now, if I got it correct, Aleve is for anti-inflammatory and Tylenol for anti-pain.
I think of Aleve as kind of like a
sore muscle ache kind of
like
thing.
the same thing I do for an ibuprofen.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So Aleve prices rose by 233%. Quilted Northern toilet paper, aforementioned toilet paper that everybody couldn't get their hands on enough of, 1,044% price increase, according to the story, on Amazon.
That means 10 times the original price, right? I'm trying to understand the dynamic
That's
of
right.
percentage
So if 100%
of increase
is the price,
is twice
then
over. Yeah,
1,000%. It's like
10 times the price.
A little over 10 times.
Yeah, a $14 box of toilet paper, pack of toilet paper now is $140.
Explain this one to me. Arm & Hammer baking soda. Was there just a lot of stinky refrigerators out there? 1,500% price increase. What are you using Arm & Hammer for? To fight COVID?
Soda. Is it for cleaning? Is it a disinfecting and cleaning element?
Maybe.
We cleaned everything. When you during COVID, when I was we called it a tribute at my house, much like the Hunger Games. Because seriously, my wife has a heart condition.
Sure.
And is living with that. It's one of those pre-existing conditions that made Melissa more susceptible to COVID.
Sure.
Than I was. So I was the guy that left the house every day or every other day.
So you're the one who had to wash your mail?
I'm the one that had to wash the mail, had to go to the grocer, had to wait in line at the store.
But were you using Arm & Hammer to wipe your mail down?
No, I was waiting in line for bleach wipes.
They don't like powdery white substances on mail.
I don't.
Usually.
I was the guy waiting in line for bleach wipes. For Clark bleach wipes.
Well, that's enough. I'm sure bleach wipes are on here.
And there was a point where the store started capping what you could buy, how much quantity.
Yeah, I remember that.
You could buy. I remember one time I went in and I had 2 packs, and guys, you can only buy one. I said, well, I've got elderly neighbors who I'm gonna send these to my neighbors, a couple of houses down in 2 different houses, and split up the other 5-pack.
Did he let you get them?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I did.
A lot of people would just leave and come back.
Yeah.
I guess that would be one way around it, unless they're like scanning your face.
Unless you're local. Well, my grocers know me. I'm in there all the time.
Yeah, but a lot of people are driving
all over the road. Yeah,
all over.
Yeah.
1,800% for select face masks. It's probably one of those what were those called?
N95s?
N95.
Right, yeah, you bet.
It's disgusting that we all know these names. What a crazy time that was.
And these are vendors on Amazon that were hiking up these prices.
Yeah. So the lawsuit, it says that consumers paid unfair prices for food and other goods on Amazon. But here's my question. you're not forced to use Amazon, right?
Well, as the judge, you quoted the judge earlier. It wasn't unreal.
He's just saying the lawsuit doesn't have to go away.
Right. He's not
trying to get it shut down. He's
right.
not saying that you are correct. Amazon price gouged you. He's just saying that it can continue forward.
Right.
But my question would be, I had to go find toilet paper myself, or get really inventive.
Yeah, I hear you.
Crinkle
I lost a lot of shirts I loved.
Yeah,
during
right.
that. I really did.
Luckily, you have a lot of shirts.
I had a lot of shirts. It was a win-win.
Think of how many you had before COVID. And all you're doing is sitting around in the house eating all day.
Right.
That's got to go somewhere.
Yep.
Anyway, it's a disgusting thought. But the idea that people were not compelled to shop on Amazon, if it was the easiest place to get because people didn't want to leave their house, that's up to them.
Well, that was a safety factor for a lot of folks who couldn't leave.
I understand, but they made the decision not to leave.
To live. To wander out into the world.
I understand.
To go from store to store to store.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But Amazon was not locking these people in their homes and saying, you have to shop through us.
No.
There are other marketplaces as well. Now, I don't know if the price rose on Walmart.com as it did on Amazon. It just seems to me like the idea.
That's a great question, by the way.
So maybe that would be, and maybe it didn't.
And this will all come out in the trial. But the judge said the trial can move forward.
It can move forward. It did remind me of this clip, though, which I just thought was hilarious. This was shortly after COVID, but I think the season was set during COVID. But Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh,
he's doing his best friend in the world, Albert Brooks, who's a real guy. Albert Brooks really wants to have a funeral, but he really wants to see the nice things that people are going to say about him during his funeral before he dies.
Right.
And so he convinces Larry to throw a funeral for him. And these are Hollywood people, and they do crazy, extravagant things. And so on the episode, Albert Brooks is watching on a camera from his bedroom as these people are downstairs in his house.
Celebrating his life.
His life.
Yeah.
And so Larry wanders off to use the restroom in the middle of this, and he opens a closet and discovers something very untoward about Albert Brooks that kind of ruins the party. And anyway, we thought we'd share it with you.
Before I got a chance to know him as a friend, I was just a fan. I wish I had one more chance just to tell him how much Lost in America resonated with me.
Oh, my God.
Larry's opened a closet door,
describe.
And it's full of Charmin as far as the eye can see. It's got all these wipes, which you would have killed for. It's got all of these bottles of Purell, just like stacks and stacks of Purell.
Albert Brooks is a COVID hoarder. Look at all that toilet paper.
And Purell.
First responders could have used all of that stuff.
Why are people in that closet?
Wait a minute.
Sitting over there with a closet full of toilet paper.
Have you no shame, Albert?
And then they basically condemn him to death. They're like, I hope you do
right. All the wonderful things he
because you hoarded.
Gone. But you know what, though? That's the beauty of good comedy because it hits truth.
Yeah.
And we cast people defined who they were during that era of selflessness or selfishness. I truly believe that. And I get it that these were extraordinary times that hopefully, like you said, we'll never live through again. But people expose themselves as to their true nature. Did they care about their neighbors?
Are you a hoarder?
Are you a hoarder?
Are you a giver?
Are you a giver?
Are you a sharer?
I'm a sharer. I hope to be a sharer. I'm a sharer. I'm a generous nature.
Funny. There's a lot of conversations that I think would be very interesting to have. And I feel like we are getting enough distance, but people still, you can tell, people still have a very, very emotional tie to however they chose to experience the pandemic.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely true.
And they get... You try to talk about it with people that you're not dear friends with, even dear friends and family members, you can get your hackles up real fast.
Oh, yeah, the wounds are fresh still. Yeah, you ripped off that Band-Aid, which you're running short on.
But you're right. Get some Purell on that. But I do think it would be interesting to have some of these conversations because, like what was people's real experience? Is it okay to look back now with some criticism on some of the decisions that we made and not feel like we have to, it's okay to admit that we were wrong on some things?
I'm with you. I still get very personal and very, passionate about the decisions that were made by me and by others.
But it's rare that we all have a shared experience as not bright in a good way, but as memorable as that one that we all experienced.
It's very profound.
Very different ways. Yep. Anyway, not for now, but another time.
Good thing we have a show.
Good thing we have a show. All right, can we talk next? We didn't get into this yesterday enough, but Pete Carroll getting fired by the Raiders.
Yeah.
There's some really crazy stats that have come out about that, like how much he's going to continue getting paid. It pays well to get fired in the NFL. I will tell you how much he's going to be making for a while. Coming up next. Stick around.
And so we are set.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game. A single-season franchise record of 14 wins. The fourth number one seed in franchise history.
Reaction.
Just incredibly proud of him.
Conversation.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Complete coverage at mynorthwest.com. And the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Did you know that 25% of your home's heat loss is through your attic? Hot air rises, and if your attic isn't properly insulated, that hot air is going to rise right through your ceiling and out your old roof. That sounds cold, but more importantly, it sounds expensive. If your furnace is working overtime, it's time to call Valentine. Right now, Valentine has a great winter special. Bundle attic insulation with any new roof, and you're going to save an additional 10% off your entire project. Just call 206 Roofing, and remember, when you see the red Valentine vans, you know your home is in good hands.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC? Well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got three options. Number one, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled Tila, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So there are some folks who probably think that they are in the clear because they haven't been hounded by IRS agents for the last few weeks. But that is a false sense of comfort.
It's a false sense of comfort. And I understand why people feel that way, Jason, because with the IRS shut down, all the revenue agents, the auditors, the revenue officers, the tax collectors, they weren't in their office. And the IRS stopped sending out notices because they knew that, people just couldn't respond to them because there weren't a lot of IRS personnel around. And so you get comfortable, you get complacent. But I tell you, folks, really, if you got an IRS issue, it's better to take care of it now than later. It really is.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Buc-ee's.com today and drive with confidence. Buc-ee's.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. I have a question for you guys. You can answer this question on the text line, 888-973-5476. A lot of people are asking it. Pete Carroll, anytime I hear that name, in my head I go, legend. Hall of Fame, legend.
Absolute
I love the
Hall
guy.
of Famer. Absolute.
Super nice guy. Not only was he just like a spark of genius for the Seahawks for a time, but the culture he brought to Seattle was special. Felt very special to me.
Absolutely. And people said it couldn't work because he was a college coach.
Yeah.
And the camaraderie. And
In LA.
Yeah. The USC, yada, yada. They thought that would not work in the NFL, and Pete proved them wrong because it was Pete. Nobody else, I don't think anyone else could have pulled that off.
Yeah.
But Pete pulled that off.
And that wasn't Pete's first chance in the NFL, right?
No. He was back
coached
to
at
Patriots
USC
for a while.
after after he had kind of not
Jets,
had great success.
Patriots, I believe, in his tenure, if I'm not mistaken.
So anyway, he gets obviously he's let go from
done,
the Seahawks a couple
retired,
seasons ago.
Boom.
Chilling out.
Yep. Hawaii.
He then gets the call. The Raiders want to hire him. He gets hired for $45 million for 3 seasons, which as far as coaching contracts goes, feels good to me. That feels like good money.
That's in the upper echelon of coaching.
It would have to be, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's a Super Bowl winning coach. He comes with a huge name.
Yeah, you had to lure him out of retirement.
Yeah. So he's getting $15 million a season. And then obviously the Raiders have their second to worst season of all time. Set is, in modern era, it's worst. 1962.
62?
62, they went 1-13.
Yeah.
But modern era, exact opposite of the Seahawks. They're 3-14. Awful. He gets fired, but he's still getting paid because he's probably got a good agent.
That's exactly
Mike,
right.
Here's a question to you. Are coaching contracts guaranteed in the same way that some money of players' contracts is guaranteed?
Well, no money in players' contracts is guaranteed unless it's negotiated by an agent.
Yeah.
An agent.
So there's nothing stopping his agent from doing that.
Right. No, exactly. And if the Raiders want him, then these are the parameters of the contract. If you want Pete to come out of retirement to get off the beach, to come and coach your team,
they were probably generous.
They
might have locked it in.
And the owner of the Raiders, Mr. Davis.
Is he the red-haired guy?
Yeah. Al's boy. And God love him. He's got an NFL team. He's doing much better than I am. I hear he dates a very young woman. It's great that he found that career and love. It's wonderful.
Great.
Wonderful.
That's great.
But he's the guy that made the decision.
Funny thing to tack on there.
Well,
he's also dating a young woman.
a beautiful young woman.
What does that matter?
Right? Well, because money lets you get away with stupid things.
It's not stupid. A May-December relationship.
That's not what
or a February-December relationship.
I'm speaking about the haircut, but that's a whole nother show.
Boy, that haircut.
His haircut is how do you put faith in anybody that made that decision?
Well, he's got a lot of money.
That's good.
You just assume.
Can you take a little more off the bangs? A little higher? Can you go a little higher?
Can you get it any higher? Anyway, he's got money.
We're talking about Pete.
Some young women find that very attractive, apparently.
Very attractive, yeah. And his wallet makes him lean to one side when he sits. And that's also very attractive to young women.
Can be appealing.
Oh, yes. But we're talking about Pete's payday. And I think because Davis is an ego-driven owner, as many are in the NFL.
Show me an owner who's not.
Right, exactly. But that's why. But a lot of ego-driven owners are pretty savvy businessmen as well.
Of course,
I don't know if that's the case in Davis's case. Although he did move the team to Vegas, which is a brilliant move.
Which is a smart move.
Yeah.
So we don't know how much of Pete's money is guaranteed, but they still owe him at least on the last 2 years of his contract. He has a fourth year that could be like an option they could pick up.
Yeah.
But they owe him still $30 million. So if you break it down for Pete now not working, here's how much money Pete's going to get paid. See how this compares to your salary. Everyone out there listening. Also, and to my question, I gave you the text number, 888-973-5476. Does this tarnish his legacy? I mean, we both started the segment saying this guy's a legend.
He is.
But when you talk about him now, aren't you going to have to kind of put a little bit of a wince at the end of it and go like, that last season was rough?
I think it's hard not to. I'll try not to because he gave me the best football memories of my life.
Yeah.
They really were. He really did.
I have memories with my family watching those games that I will never forget forever.
Absolutely. And he's earned his place in Canton, Ohio. Absolutely. As has Belichick, but it's hard to argue that Belichick hasn't tarnished his image by going to Carolina and crapping it.
Also, very attractive to young women.
Very attractive young women. I'm just saying.
It's amazing.
I don't know what it is about older coaches.
About these guys? What is it about these older guys in football that's so attractive to young women?
Men.
Because they don't have their bodies aren't screaming what young women I think are looking for.
When Belichick's his paramour posed as a mermaid, they didn't put Belichick in a Speedo. They put him in a Gorton's fisherman outfit. The most hiding, puffy, yellow.
They dressed him as a whale.
Anywho.
Just kidding. He seems like
Pete's. I'm happy for Pete.
I love Pete.
I love Pete, and I can't blame what happened in Vegas on Pete per se.
So this tarnishes. It doesn't for you.
Not for me. Not for me personally, but I know it will for a lot of people.
Here's why he's also just smart. Here's how much money Pete's going to make this year coming up for the next 2 years. Actually, he's going to make $43,800 per day. Per day, he's going to make $306,000 per week. $1,800 per hour. These are all the same number. They're not adding these up. These are all just different ways to say the same thing.
He's Pete's
1.3 million a month is how much Pete's making. That's how much $15 million a year
You know how when you win a Super Bowl, you hold the Lombardi up?
Yeah.
They should make a trophy of Mark Davis's head that Pete should hold up with a shower of confetti that Pete got $30 million to sit on the beach out of this guy.
A big check.
A big check. Guy in a gorilla suit and a big check. Confetti flying.
Good for Pete Carroll.
I love Pete.
I love him.
We had a chance to meet him and interview him over the course of the years.
He used to be on our show every week.
He's wonderful, man. Wonderful
dude.
man.
Real good dude. We wish him all the best.
Yep.
All right, we got a lot more coming up.
Don't need it.
Seattle voters wanted change.
I campaigned on affordability, on homelessness, on taxing the rich.
Can Mayor Wilson live up to the promises of candidate Wilson?
The self-proclaimed progressive socialist managing high expectations.
Trusted Northwest News voices you depend on.
More government programs, which means more tax dollars.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM. And the KIRO News Radio app.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not-so-wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver Plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho. And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company. Pure Talk.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Start the new year taking active liver supplements from New Nordic. Online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump at the annual GOP retreat says of the U.S. military capturing Nicolas Maduro and his wife in Venezuela.
It was an amazing military feat that took place.
The White House is sending officials to Capitol Hill tomorrow for briefings. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
Tomorrow's briefing will be the first time that all lawmakers are briefed by these top administration officials. And the questions that they have are questions that we all have, which is what is the end game here? The president says that we are now running Venezuela. What exactly does that look like?
In Washington, D.C., marking 5 years since the U.S. Capitol attack. Some of those pardoned marched in a small rally at the Capitol, as did counter-demonstrators.
5 years ago, I was stunned by what happened and what's been going on since, where they say it was a day of love. It wasn't. It was a terrible day in American history.
Some Senate Democrats are introducing new legislation to prevent taxpayer money from being awarded to convicted and now pardoned rioters. In Los Angeles, Fire Chief Jamie Moore delivers public remarks to the Board of Fire Commissioners on the devastating Lockman and Palisades fires. Moore vowed to restore public trust in his agency.
We take responsibility for making these improvements, and I am fully committed to ensuring the lessons from the Palisades and Lockman fires result in meaningful, lasting change.
In Corpus Christi, Texas, the prosecution and defense have made opening statements in the criminal trial of former Uvalde Schools police officer Adrian Gonzalez. He's among the officers who responded to the mass shooting that left 19 students and 2 teachers dead in May of 2022. The jury has heard 2 very different versions of his actions that day. Defense attorney Nico LaHood.
He didn't just sit there. He did what he could with what he knew at the time, and this was fluid and it was a dynamic situation.
The prosecution says Gonzalez did nothing until it was too late. European allies have come up with security guarantees for Ukraine. CBS's Cammie McCormick reports.
The meeting in Paris was also attended by President Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff, and the French president called it a significant step towards guaranteeing Ukraine's security after a peace agreement is reached with Russia. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
It's important that we're starting the year like this. European and American allies, side by side with President Zelensky, standing for peace.
Witkoff said afterwards the territorial issues are the most problematic going forward, but the security protocols, he said, are important for the people of Ukraine to know that when this ends, it ends forever.
The Dow and S&P 500 end at records in bullish early 2026 trading. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It is a forecast that makes drivers cringe, but skiers and snowboarders cheer. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, this one brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. In Bothell, we've got a new collision. It's North 405 and Northeast 195th, blocking your far right lane. You're in about a mile and a half back up right now, starting back at 160th. Bellevue to Linwood already has a 10-minute delay, taking 25 minutes. If you're heading through Seattle, South 5 a little crowded now from 85th in the downtown. North 5 looks good. Southbound 405, we've got scattered backups between Factoria and Renton. Nothing too heavy. Bellevue to Renton's at 20 minutes. And we still got road work northbound on East Marginal Way, Diagonal Avenue, right next to Arena Sports, where crews are repairing a broken water main. So all lanes are blocked, but they've coned off a little narrow lane through that intersection so you can still squeeze through. And right now, traffic isn't bad in the area. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Bosch. A winter storm warning is in effect for the mountains, where up to 4 feet of snow could dump by Thursday afternoon. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao has more from Snoqualmie Pass.
It's great news for skiers and snowboarders, but the tricky part will be getting here.
Our crews are out there 24/7, and they're going to work their darndest to keep Snoqualmie Pass open.
Summer Derry with the Washington Department of Transportation tells me plows are out in full force.
Wherever the snowstorm is, we will direct the majority of our crews to that area.
She urges drivers to stay in the right lane, take it slow, and come prepared with a full tank of gas, snacks, and water.
And she says you might want to delay your trip. A warning to drivers, Revive I-5 closures are coming back to the Ship Canal Bridge. WashDOT's Julie Meredith says that means
we will fully close northbound I-5 this weekend from I-90 to Northeast 45th Street starting at midnight, January 9th, and reopening at 5 a.m., January 12th.
Crews are creating work zones for a long-term 2-lane closure through 2026. A woman missing since Christmas has been found dead in Mount Vernon. Police say the body of 42-year-old Alana Taylor was discovered yesterday afternoon on Francis Road near Erica Lake. A medical examiner is working to determine how she died. Seattle police have made an arrest in the deadly shooting at a hookah lounge on Rainier Avenue South last month.
30-year-old Abdul Rahman Hussein is now charged with second-degree murder for killing Khalif Hussein. Casey McNerthney with the King County Prosecutor's Office says a break in the case came when someone saw the suspect trying to get away on a Lime scooter.
People sometimes forget that their movements all over the place can be tracked.
According to court records, police subpoenaed Lime records, and that led them to the suspect. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
With the Seahawks 2 games away from playing in the Super Bowl, team merchandise is flying off the shelves. Danny Ball with Simply Seattle tells KIRO 7 TV they're seeing record sales and
you can feel that this team kind of brings the city together. It's special to be a part of.
The Downtown Seattle Association says Seahawks games benefit all businesses, bringing nearly 3 times the average foot traffic during home games. And the Hawks' next 2 playoff games will be in Seattle. KIRO News Radio weather, cloudy with highs in the mid-40s today. It is 44 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO Newsradio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We're getting a lot of great text messages, a lot of people's opinions about whether or not Pete Carroll getting fired tarnishes his legacy. 888-973-5476. We'll read you some of those just a little bit. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, Spike. And this topic, I'm really, really excited about this topic. It's one we've been following a lot. And finally, we have some information, which is nice. I mean, I think give the people the most information they can get. Let them make their decisions.
Well put. Exactly what we're hoping to do.
So we have been talking about the Climate Commitment Act in the state of Washington, which does take a lot of money. And the idea is it takes money out of your pocket and it then makes environment healthy, which is how it's sold.
That's the overarching goal. To mitigate the impacts of environmental pollution
waste
in the state.
And all that stuff. Yeah. Now, you could make an argument that it's not actually doing that, and instead it's just picking your pocket, and it's then just going into overburdened administrative costs. But whatever. That's the conversation we're having right now. But they have recently, Department of Ecology was for a long time kind of digging their heels in, and they were not releasing information based on CO2 reports. How much CO2 have you actually
What kind of results are we getting for our investment? What's our ROI?
Are we getting a bang for the buck?
Yes.
And so, we got Todd Myers with the Washington Policy Center. He's a vice president for research. He joins us now. Todd, thank you so much for making the time.
Thanks for having me on. Happy New Year.
Todd, Happy New Year, Todd. Happy New Year to you. So the Department of Ecology in our state, they put out this press release, and it says, hey, great news. The $1.5 billion that we have spent so far, which is not even half of what they've collected, but the $1.5 billion that we've spent so far on fighting climate change has done amazing work, and it's taken all this, it's cleaned up everything. Can you?
They're taking a low emissions victory lap.
That's what they're doing.
This report, you bet. Yeah.
Yes, on foot.
You wish.
Yeah. Todd, can you tell us what claims they're making, and then whether or not in your research that you've looked into it now, whether or not you believe the claims they're making to be true?
Sure. So they are required by law, and they did it. They met the deadline to report how the money has been spent. We have been fighting with them about another report that they haven't released. But on this one, they did. And it is, okay, here's the $1.5 billion that we have spent in the first 2 years from the tax on CO2 emissions. And here's the impact of it. And there are 3,600 projects that they go through, and they say, here's what it's for, here's how much it cost, and does this project actually reduce CO2 emissions? Mm-hmm. Not all of them are intended to or do reduce CO2 emissions, but for the ones that do, here's how much we expect it to reduce. And so when they sent out the report, they made a claim that the CO2 that had been reduced in the first 2 years was equivalent to 40%, to taking 40% of all gas and diesel cars in the state off the road for an entire year.
That's insane. That's great.
That's phenomenal.
That is a huge amount.
That's
awesome
the victory
number.
lap I was talking about.
Let's end it there. Everything's
Thanks
great.
for your time, Todd. Don't look.
All right, so that's almost half the vehicles on the road. That's a big claim.
Correct. And the other thing, and this is a data point that's only interesting to geeks like me, which is, and that it cost $40 per metric ton to do that. So every metric ton of CO2, it only cost us $40 to do it. Now, that was when my eyebrows went up, and I have very bushy eyebrows. And I said, that price is way too low. There's something wrong with this, because in the previous report, it wasn't $40, it was $1,400 per metric ton. So I knew something was wrong, and I dug into it. And what I found was that there are 8 projects in the state that account for 86% of the CO2 reductions that they claimed. And those 8 projects, the numbers for those 8 projects are almost completely wrong.
Can you help me understand? And we'll get into the specifics here in a second, but just to make this number stand out for people, you said there's, of the $1.5 billion that they have spent so far, they have done 3,600 projects. And of those 3,600 projects, 8 of them account for, you said 86%?
Of the claimed CO2 reductions, correct.
So why are they spending money on basically 3,600 other projects?
Well, the reason is that it's hard to reduce CO2 emissions, and you have to try a lot of different things.
Sure.
And the complaint that I have had is that we don't prioritize based on what is most effective. We prioritize based on what is political. But in this case, the problem is that the 8 projects are designed to help people buy heat pumps, replace gas stoves with heat pumps, which reduce less CO2 emissions. But the amount of reduction is very small. And that was what I realized. I was like, the numbers being claimed on this are so high. So I reached out to one of the recipients, the city of Ellensburg, and said, did you guys create this number, this projection for CO2 emissions? And they said, we have no idea where that number comes from. And they said, we think the Department of Commerce created that. And so then they did something very nice, which is that they reached out to the Department of Commerce and said, do you know where this number that's associated with our project in terms of CO2 reduction that is achieved came from? And the Department of Commerce a couple days later said, you know what? That came from the Department of Ecology, and that number is wrong, and they know it's wrong. So it's not just me saying that these numbers are wrong. They know that they're wrong. And what I think this goes to show, one is that I just think how sloppy our climate accounting is.
Yeah.
You know, people talk about climate change being a crisis. There is risk. We need to do something about it. But if the more serious you think it is, the more frustrated you should be with how sloppy our climate accounting is and how frivolously we spend some of this money on things that don't really do anything for the planet.
Can you explain, too, of those 8 projects you said that account for 86% of the reduction that they're claiming?
Yeah.
And if it's on heat pumps, like how many heat pumps are they putting in Ellensburg?
It's statewide, and they want.
No, he's talking about Ellensburg right now.
Well, but
explain that, Todd.
Well, let me. Maybe I misunderstood you, but such a large portion of the budget has gone to conversion to heat pumps. That's not just in Ellensburg. That's statewide, correct?
Yes, but the problem there's more than 8 projects. What's interesting is that there are about 50, I think there are 53 projects around the state that do heat pumps. 8 of them claimed that they were able to reduce emissions at $1 per metric ton, which is extremely low. All of the others claimed it was $613 per metric ton. So the problem is not that these projects are large or anything like that. It's that they screwed up the numbers, that they made a gigantic math error. And they repeated that math error in their press release and their public statements. And they're telling legislators, look what a good job we're doing. Look how effective these projects are, when it was a math error. So that's how I identified is that there are 8 projects that are, for some reason, completely different than the others that did the exact same thing.
That are having a massive effect.
That's what they claimed, but again, it was just an error.
So how many has the Department of Ecology have they responded to this, saying that they know the number's wrong? That's quite a claim to make. That implies willful misleading of the public.
I don't think that's true. I think that they just screwed up. I think that they just made a big mistake.
Well, if they say they know they screwed up, they know it's wrong, and they release it in a press release and then they take it to legislation. I mean, how is it not willful misinformation?
Or did they not realize it was wrong until you pointed it out for them?
I think that's what happened. And so I sent them an email in the middle of December and said, here's what I found. Can you tell me what's going on here? And they said, we'll get back to you.
It's Christmas.
And then last week, yeah. And then Monday, I said, haven't heard back from you. I'm publishing something tomorrow. Can you let me know? And they said, yes, we haven't had a chance to get to you. So I gave them, 2-3 weeks to say, here's what the problem is. Yes, we will correct this. I have heard nothing back from them.
We're talking to Todd Myers with the Washington Policy Center. We're talking about this claim that the state is making that they have spent $1.5 billion and basically taken the equivalent of 40% of vehicles off the road for all of the CO2 that they release.
Trying to justify the money
for 1 year.
Yeah,
for 1 year.
1 year.
That project that they're touting in Ellensburg, that's so phenomenally successful. It sounds like the numbers are wrong, but they sent it out, so we can question it. How much money did they spend in Ellensburg on that project to get new heat pumps for folks?
So it was the total grants was about $4.3 million. The actual money that they spent was about $3.5 million, and it installed about 170. And it wasn't just heat pumps; it was mostly heat pumps, but that it was a variety of things to improve energy efficiency.
Energy efficient appliances, yeah.
That's exactly right. Now, I will say that in terms of reducing CO2 emissions, this is not a great way to reduce CO2 emissions. It's a very expensive way to reduce CO2 emissions. But some people justify it, say, look, the tax on CO2 emissions is driving energy costs up. We know that's true. This, helps low-income families and other folks. They worked with a group in Cle Elum and Kittitas County that was targeted at low-income families. So what you could say is, look, yes, this helps CO2, but mostly this is about helping low-income families deal with increasing energy costs that are a result of the CO2 tax. Okay, fine. You can make that argument. But if you're making the argument, look how great these projects are because they reduce CO2 emissions, then that's really misleading. And I think that was the claim that they made in the press release that was wrong.
But don't you guys also have, I don't know how you feel. I have a guess how you feel about this, Spike, and I have a guess how you might feel about it, Todd. But when they create this climate auction, this auction that they force these companies, these credit auctions, to buy these offsets, it feels to me kind of a little bit mobstery, where they come in and say, hey, you know what, like this would be awfully bad for your business if you don't start working with us. And if you don't start working with us, it's going to get very expensive. And so then to use that to justify, to say like, oh, look at all these great heat pumps we're putting in, it's making it cheaper for people because energy prices have gone through the roof. But one of the reasons they've gone through the roof, like you pointed out, is because they're making it more expensive arbitrarily through these auctions, right?
Yeah, I think that, so the system is called cap and trade. That's what you cap the amount of CO2.
Sure.
And then you sell the permits and then you can trade them. This is a fairly common tool to reduce pollution. In fact, acid rain, we used this system to reduce acid rain and it worked really well and very effectively. So the system, it's very complex. And I think that actually, they like it to be complex because politicians like to claim, hey, it's not really reducing costs. And it's a little bit difficult to understand where the costs from in a more complex system like this. But it's not a horrible system. The problem, though, is that when people like me say, okay, fine, the purpose of this is to drive up the cost of gasoline and other CO2 emitting fuels. The claim is, no, it doesn't do that. You don't know, it's the polluters who are paying, not you. And that is simply a lie. And they know, and actually I can tell you that I've talked with people who support it, and they know that's a lie. So I think that's where the vibe that you get, what you called the sort of the mobstery vibe, I think that's the vibe that you get, which is that there's a lot of game playing, a lot of dishonesty, a lot of sleight of hand. The system itself is not crazy. Now, I think there's some serious problems. I think we're seeing those serious problems. But fundamentally, if the argument is we need this money to reduce CO2 emissions and reduce the risk of climate change, the way we are spending money is totally wasteful and ineffective. And the fact that they made such a massive error in this report, and the people who claim they're experts didn't notice that error, but I did, I think is evidence of how sort of slipshod the approach is.
Let me ask you this question. We started the conversation talking about there's two different things that you were waiting for this, which they got in on time.
Got reported on time,
but there's the other one that are you guys involved in a lawsuit right now currently against the state? Can you tell us about that, and what number are you guys waiting for the state to give that they're legally required to give that they've not given?
Yeah, so if you ask, okay, so how is Washington State doing on reducing CO2 emissions? The answer is we have no idea, because the most recent data the state has released is from 2021. It is now 2026. And so if you're trying to determine is our climate policy working, you have no idea. By law, Department of Ecology was supposed to have released through the year 2023 more than a year ago. They did not. So we sued them. Now, the first lawsuit we lost in court because the judge ruled that we did not have standing. In that case, though, the Department of Ecology admitted that they were in violation of the law and didn't produce the data. What they claimed is that it was too hard. I don't really care if it's too hard.
It's too hard.
That is that is not an argument that they would accept from somebody who was violating an ecology law, a law that they cover, but that's the law that they made. They said, well, we don't have the data and it's too hard to get the data, so we can't do it.
Well, what are they there for if not to gather the data? What are they doing?
That's exactly right. And again, the law says they have to do that. And if you are a legislator and are saying, okay, is what we're doing working? Then you need to know, are we meeting our climate targets or are we not? And there's no way to know that right now. So we refiled with some legislators, and we're currently, ready to go to court on that and see if we can get the data finally.
Yeah, a couple quick questions. I know we're coming close on time here. Is the cost of carbon credits, do these numbers determine that cost? And if they haven't given a report or they're giving bad numbers, how does that affect what people are paying for carbon credits?
No, the auctions are all public, and you can get the auctions are released, the data and the costs are released 1 week after the auction concludes. So that is transparent, and every time
they don't set the price, the market sets the price. People trying to buy these credits.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
The other question I have
is
there's
a limited number of permits, and then everybody bids on that, and then they release the data.
And what's that cost right now for one credit? Is it like $70-something a credit?
That's exactly right. It's just over $70 per metric ton.
And what was it last year? About 40-something?
At the end of last year, it was less than half of that. It was about $30-something. I can't remember exactly, but it was less than half of that.
By the way, Spike,
the price has doubled in 1 year.
I've decided what I'm getting you for Christmas next year.
A carbon credit?
A carbon credit.
Just one? That's awesome.
I don't want to go crazy, but I think I'm going to
start small.
It's going to come in handy.
That's beautiful.
Save it for the future. All right.
Can I, real quick, I know I'm almost out of time. You said that they said a 40% reduction in the amount of gas and diesel engines on the road. That's what they claimed. But the numbers are wrong. When will we know the real number?
What's the actual number?
What's the actual number?
The actual number is that the CO2 reductions are equivalent to about 4%.
Oh, so just decimal point. That's all. Yeah.
Right. So that's what in the piece that we have at WashingtonPolicy.org, you can look at it, and I lay out the numbers there. I recalculate it based on what is the likely number, and like I said, it's about it's almost 1/10 of what they claimed.
Well, hey, if they're only off by 90%, that's not bad for government work. Todd Myers with the Washington Policy Center. You're a gem. We appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. And thanks for digging into these numbers. These are the things that people need to think about when you, at the end of the month, are trying to figure out where your money's going, and you're going to the gas station, you're looking at the price of gas, and you're going, this is crazy how expensive everything is. And then you see these reports which say that they've actually only changed things by about a factor of 4%. is it really worth all the money we're dumping into this? That's a question that everybody needs to answer themselves, and I hope they do. And we couldn't do it without you, Todd.
Well, thanks so much. It's always nice to chat with you.
Appreciate you coming
Great
on.
job, bud. Thank
All
you.
right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
This is your city.
Seattle voters have spoken, and they wanted change.
Wilson really resonated, especially with some younger voters.
On the terms of working people, make it work for them.
Katie Wilson is just actually not afraid to say she's a socialist.
What challenges does the political newcomer face once taking office?
Never having any managerial experience.
Stay with KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com for the latest.
Change takes time, and we don't give it time.
And the KIRO Newsradio app.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
For seniors, the new year is a good time to reassess finances. If you're struggling with bills, our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be a great way to ease your stress.
Seniors tell me all the time, we love our home, we'd love to stay here, but we just can't afford it anymore. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off your debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let your home work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me. Never a sales pitch and never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage experts, the VA loan and debt consolidation experts too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free delivery. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandswimspasale.com.
For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. You will not be able to head north on the Ship Canal Bridge this weekend. I-5 northbound is closing from I-90 to Northeast 45th Streets. Transportation Secretary Julie Meredith says the closure starts at midnight on Friday.
The last major efforts to maintain and preserve this bridge happened decades ago. We've seen over 200 emergency repairs since 2019.
Now, crews are using this weekend to prep a months-long work zone. Come next Monday, the two left lanes on the bridge will be closed 24/7. That is going to last for the next 5 months, all the way until June. Now to the closing bell reports. Asian grocer Wajimaya is planning a big move into Tacoma. The company wants to open a store in a former Hobby Lobby near Target at the Tacoma Center. Puget Sound Business Journal reports the store is expected to open in 2027, along with another location in Issaquah. U.S. Marshal Service warns of a surge in online scams. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery has more.
Scam losses have quadrupled since 2020, in large part because scammers are getting better and using urgency, like convincing emails telling you about an outstanding warrant. That's what the Marshal Service is warning about. They have case numbers, even signatures supposedly from an active judge. When scammers get you on the phone, caller ID may even say it's from a courthouse or government agency. But it's all fake. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
U.S. Postal Service says it needs more mail carriers in Renton. The agency is hosting a hiring event this Friday at the Renton Highlands Post Office from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Postal Service says it's looking for part-time carriers. Pay starts at about $26 an hour. On Wall Street today, solid gains. The Dow up 485, NASDAQ gained 151, S&P 500 up by 43 points. We go now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Up in Bothell, North 405 and Northeast 195th. Our earlier crash is no longer blocking, but it's on the right shoulder and is causing a bit of a distraction. So we still have this 1.5 mile thick backup stretching back to 160th. Bellevue to Linwood has gone up to a half-hour trip. Northbound I-5 and I-90, a crash partially blocks that off-ramp to I-90. South 405 now pretty crowded between Factoria and Renton. Still 20 minutes between Bellevue and Renton. Both lake bridges are clear. The First Avenue South Bridge is up right now for marine traffic, and northbound on East Marginal Way at Diagonal Avenue right there at Arena Sports. Crews are still working on this broken water main, so that means all northbound lanes are blocked, but they've coned off a little narrow lane through the intersection, so traffic is squeezing by, and right now traffic isn't bad. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We have a winter storm warning in effect for the mountains. Light rain here and blustery at times in the lower elevations. The winter storm warning could bring 2 to 4 feet through Thursday into the mountains. Right now, 45 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, this was major, huge breaking news in the Skorheim household today. Did you see this new innovation that's coming out from Lego? I don't call them Legos because I'm nerd. I know it's actually just Lego.
I did not know it was
You're supposed to call it Lego. You play Lego. You don't play Legos.
You don't play Legos, even though there's more than one. You have one block at your house, one brick?
Play Lego.
Okay.
We have one brick at the house.
The kids share it.
Every kid has their own brick. If they work together, they can make a stack.
That's great parenting.
A very small stack.
I'm not
versed in the Lego world.
No. I was raised in the Lego era.
Sure.
I love Lego. My kids love Lego, but we don't have no utes at my house right now.
Do you have Legos at your house somewhere? Because if you do, they're probably pretty valuable. Old sets.
We may.
Yeah.
But we didn't have like this the designer sets where you build a specific thing.
Well,
we didn't have
even
those.
just old bricks.
I got old bricks.
Cool to have old bricks.
Old bricks laying around, but they're no different than new bricks.
Well,
because Lego hasn't changed. That's the beauty of Lego, right?
Yeah.
They a piece you bought in 1972 will work with a piece you buy in 2026.
That is true. There's a Lego documentary. I'm trying to remember where it's at. It might be Amazon Prime. It's narrated by Jason Bateman, and it's pretty phenomenal. And it just gives you the history of Lego, and it's what the Lego company has gone through. And this is not an advertisement for Lego. We're spending a lot of Lego time at my house with four little boys. One of them doesn't play Lego yet because he could eat it.
You can swallow them, yeah.
But 3 of them are nuts for Legos. The vast majority of our Christmas presents this year were Lego sets.
If I'm not mistaken, it's the number 1 toy in the world.
I think so. Yeah, that would make sense. So Lego has come out with this new innovation, and it's this first. I mean, so Lego's done a really good job.
They come apart without a crowbar? Because I'd love that.
That would be cool too. That's why I grow my fingernails so long, so I could get in there.
Jeez.
No, I don't have long fingernails. That'd be gross. But so Lego has all these great partnerships. They have licensed to high heaven every single.
Absolutely.
You can buy F1. You can buy
name it.
Harry Potter. You can buy Super Mario. There's sets for every.
I told you, I've got a cousin my age.
Yeah.
Who's retired and divorced. I'm not sure if they're related.
Sure.
But he's got so many Lego collections.
I bet you there's a high correlation
between
with
his
divorced men who also love Lego.
Who have Lego collections of he just bought the cross section of the Death Star.
There you go.
The cross section, because he already had the Death Star.
Did he have Death Star 1 or 2?
I'm not sure. Probably both. Knowing him,
he probably has both.
The fact that he's now single and retired, he's probably got both.
He's got the time.
Anywho, what's the new innovation?
So Lego has come out with what they're calling a smart brick. And this little brick, I mean, it's really kind of amazing. And I am also cautious in it. My optimism for it is a cautious optimism. It's a 2x4 brick. It's like the classic, 2x4. And inside, instead of coming out with like screens and all the different stuff, Lego has simply put a little computer chip in there. And so this brick will now react with other bricks that it comes into contact with who also have this technology. So you might have you might be building a Star Wars set. Actually, we have some audio here. Maybe they describe it better than I can. But here's a little bit on the Lego brick. They just announced this at CES.
So you hear the door unlock, the engine start. As I move the car around, you'll see it respond.
This brick is playing sound?
That's coming out of the brick.
Even swerving around corners. Maybe I'm going to crash it. Kids do that. But whatever you do, please don't run over any minifigures.
Do they scream?
Really do not like it.
Oh my gosh.
So what it does is if you buy these bricks that have this, like whatever the thing is inside, the little chip that it would recognize and whatever Bluetooth thing that they connect, the 2x4 recognizes that and then will make sounds associated with that if you're playing with it.
You make a car and you
it's
make it
motion
move.
activated. So if you're going fast with your car, it'll make this speeding up sound. If you're playing with 2 different Star Wars ships, let's say you're playing with an X-Wing and a TIE fighter, they will fight. They will have TIE fighter sounds and X-Wing sounds, firing lasers at each other, all that stuff. If you have 2 characters who have lightsabers out, they will fight with lightsabers.
Oh, that's great.
Now, the characters won't actually like swing the lightsabers.
No, but the sound effects will be there for you.
But the sound effects, it also has a tiny little corner of it that looks like it's built with a clear Lego covering, so it lights up, so it can do different lights. And they charge just on a you plug it onto a pad like a little Lego. It looks like just a Lego flat
board, but it's a charging station.
But it's a charging station, and they last for years. Now, my question to you is this a good innovation by Lego, or is it trying to do something that kids are already adding to the product themselves?
Oh, first off, it's a genius invention.
Genius.
It is beautiful use of technological advancement. And it's the worst idea I've ever heard in my life.
That was my instinct too.
Why are Legos the perfect toys? Because it's a block of imagination is what it is. It allows you can. That's the beauty of Lego. You can make anything. You make your own sound effects. You don't need you build a Lego T-Rex and it roars. You roar. The kid roars. The kid goes pew 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 pew. The kid makes the engine sound.
Everybody makes the pew pews.
Right.
You don't need the brick to make the pew pews.
Exactly. I'm with you 1,000% here.
But are we just old and we're adults now and we relish looking back on a childhood where we had to make the noises and it's like us walking in the snow to school? Like, are we just saying that, because we did, you have to?
No, I don't think we are, because I think the one thing that we all bemoan kids these days is everything is done for them.
Sure.
Childhood is becoming more passive.
That's why we're trying to keep them off smartphones and all that stuff.
And, the imagination gift that is Lego, you've declawed it, or I was going to make a much more colorful analogy.
Sure.
Kids don't have to imagine anymore. They don't have to pretend anymore.
Yeah, my fear is that my kids, when I go down and see them, we have like a room where they keep all their Legos.
Oh, that's good.
And
that's good parenting.
It is a chaotic room, Legos everywhere.
It's a Thunderdome of creativity.
Adults do not enter without shoes. And I worry that if we had these little bricks, is it just going to be a silent room with all these little noises coming out of it that my kids aren't doing themselves?
Maybe I'm being the get off my lawn guy at this moment. Maybe it won't eliminate. Maybe it will enhance imagination. Maybe they'll still have to use their imagination and build the things and have the fights.
You're not going.
It's just right. That's
you're not
part
doing
of
the stuff anymore.
That's part of the magic. You can't shake
the interactive part.
Yes, the creative part, your imagination.
So I had that instant reaction to this morning when I was reading this, and then I was doing show prep, and my kids all finally woke up, and they're all awake, and I'm like, "Hey guys, guess what Lego came out with?" And I tell them about this idea, and I'm thinking they're probably going to feel like me, like, you know what, Dad? We got our imaginations. We don't need this. No. Instantly, they were like, that's awesome.
We want one.
I want a Lego smart brick. Can we get one?
How long till my birthday?
Exactly. And that's all they want to do now. And I worry that it is path of least resistance, and they're just going to go like, well, I don't like if I could have a TIE fighter make the noise itself. I mean, that's objectively better if you're a kid.
Yeah, it is.
But if you're an adult, I don't see that as better. I see that as taking away from the experience.
That's a tough one. It's obviously this thought and this concern, I hope, was workshopped at Lego Central.
You hope so.
You would hope they would say, are we undermining the total mission of Lego?
Yes.
Is imagination and creativity. Does this advancement undermine the mission itself?
I gotta
wonder.
It reminds me of a little clip that they should learn from.
And before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Lego brick.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
They didn't stop to think that they should.
Spot on, man. Spot on.
And it feels like this is the start. Like you start with a Lego brick, and before long, there's the Lego screen. Like, do they have that conversation? I feel like the screen. It's funny because there's a new Toy Story movie coming out. We went to go see. What did we see the other day over Christmas break? We went and saw Zootopia 2.
Okay,
it's very funny, by the way.
Good movie.
Very, very funny.
Okay,
highly recommend it. We see an ad for Toy Story 5, and it's crazy that it's Toy Story 5. But Toy Story 5, and it's a picture of all the toys kind of looking on in fear as the main little kid character gets a new gift for Christmas, which is the premise of the original movie. You remember that?
Yeah, sure. Buzz Lightyear
You got
showed
Woody,
up. Yeah.
who's like nervous, and then Buzz Lightyear shows up, and it's like, oh my gosh, this whole world is flipped upside down.
Right. He's antiquated.
So the kid character in the new movie apparently gets a screen, like a little tablet of some kind. And now all the toys are worried, are we being replaced by this new technology?
Great storyline.
It's a great storyline. Yeah, super smart. It's what everybody's talking about. It's what parents are worried about. I'm sure they'll come up with a happy medium or whatever. But
toys destroy the screen.
Yeah, toys just bash it. But I do worry
with
with
the
this
shower. What?
I worry about with this smart thing.
Yeah.
Also, here's another dumb question. Let's just say that this is great for everybody. What's the cost on something like this? I haven't seen the cost associated with this yet. I don't know if you have. I haven't seen the cost yet.
Well, first off,
can't be cheap.
It can't be cheap, but if price was a barrier to entry, Lego wouldn't be who they are today.
That's true.
Because they are paying hundreds of dollars for these sets, and not just for kids. I mean, for adults are paying the big ticket items.
Yeah.
For the specific builds of the various characters or cars or trucks or whatnot.
Like, imagine you buy your kids one of these things, and then it just gets lost. Because kids lose Legos all the time.
I'm sure if they got the technology that can make it a lightsaber or a motor or a car, maybe it's a cow, who knows?
Yeah.
If this thing is smart enough to be a million things, it's got a locator beacon.
You can have it's like an Apple tag.
Yeah, exactly. I can take
toss one of these in your kid's backpack, and you know where they're at.
Oh,
that's smart.
Brilliant. So now Lego's tracking us.
Yeah, Lego's tracking us. Now they're going to start trying to sell me stuff.
I asked you this in the pre-show. You ever seen the Lego Walk of Fire?
No.
Okay, so you know the hot coals, the bed of hot coals?
Yeah.
I was at a Lego exhibit at Seattle Center. It was like 2024. There was a Lego exhibit at the Seattle Center with these master builders. they had made a coal bed of red, orange, and yellow Legos, and you could take your shoe off and walk on them, and it was awesome because it hurt.
Did you do it?
Yes, it was great. How could I pass it up?
I bet. Do you think it's better or worse than real coals?
I will never find out. I will never know the difference. I will never walk on hot coals.
Yeah,
never. But I tried the Lego thing. It was fun.
I bet you it was pretty painful.
It was a blast. It was very painful.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
That's really funny. That's a really good idea, actually.
Right?
And imagine if they had smart bricks. You wouldn't even have to make the sounds. They would just make it for you. Fire
the smell
crackling,
of burning flesh.
Screaming.
Great.
All right. We got a lot more coming up. It's not all Lego talk here. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The Closing Bell is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
Toppled by the U.S., Manuel Noriega and Nicolas Maduro.
Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna joins us to talk about how the two cases differ and what happens next for Maduro.
The snow continues to pile up in the mountains. We'll have the latest on the winter storm warning.
And of course, Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
Hope you can join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
On KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got 3 options. Number 1, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you, gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. Ready to kick off 2026 on a healthier path? Our New Year, New You event has everything you need, from saltwater hot tubs to rejuvenating saunas and cold plunges, or staying active with a swim spa. We've got the perfect way to help you feel your best. Enjoy special savings on our entire wellness lineup now through January 11th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Guys, feeling low energy or low drive? It could be low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health, start with a free T-check and consultation. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off TRT. Book now at ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Welcome back to the show. All right. If you guys live in Washington State, which if you listen to this show, there's a high likelihood you do.
High likelihood, but we got listeners all over the country.
All over.
I hear from people all over the place.
We got a text the other day from somebody listening from Chile.
Seriously?
From Chile. Yeah. I don't even know how they figured out how to text us. I guess I say the number.
Not the restaurant. Not Chili's. They weren't at Chili's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Chili's.
Was it Chili's?
Chili's.
Okay.
Yeah. Which...
Sorry. Yeah, I think they have one in Chile, by the way. It's crazy.
They do. It was
sweet irony.
Ironically, it was a Chili's in Chile.
You know what they were eating? Ironically enough,
tell me.
A burger.
Amazing. All right, and that's why we get such great texts here from like great conversations like the one we're having. There are a lot of taxes in our state. We talk about them all the time. We lament them. We complain about them. This is your safe space to whine about taxes if you want to. There was a rally, apparently a grassroots rally in Olympia. A few folks got together and they were voicing their concern. Como News was there and some folks spoke to Como News. Mm-hmm. I'd love to hear a little bit about this. This is from Janice Pereira. She's from Forks. She had a message for politicians. There is a bunch of new taxes that kicked in on January 1st.
Oh, yeah. A lot changed in the state. You bet.
A lot changed.
I don't know if the governor gets his way, even more.
I don't know if this is statewide. Can you look this up, Laura? Because I can't look it up while I'm talking and type and talk at the same time. But I went to the dump on January 2nd. Was that Saturday? I don't know what day that was. Saturday, January 3rd.
I'll look that up, January 2nd.
I went to the dump, and I was told by the guy.
Second was Friday, the 3rd was Saturday, but go on.
Okay, Saturday the 3rd.
Yeah.
I was told by the guy at the dump, he said, hey, if you don't have a secured load, because I had forgotten to secure my load, he goes, if you don't have a secured load, the current fee right now for an unsecured load is $5. It has, as of the 1st, it jumped up to $20, which is kind of a lot. Like, listen, I'm not like an anti-secure load guy. I mean, I'm driving a short distance. My dump is literally a short distance away.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to a waste station too. Yeah,
transfer station.
Yeah, transfer. That's the word.
So was it statewide jumped up to $20?
Yep, $25.
$25?
25.
Well, it's 25 in King County. I'm guessing you were in Snohomish.
Yeah.
It might be 20 in Snohomish.
Jeez Louise, folks. I got to be honest. I didn't have a ton of waste to throw away. It was just like some stuff that I needed to clear out.
Yeah, I know the rule, yeah.
And I get up there and the guy's like, hey, got to let you know, it's officially now $20. He was a cool dude because I've seen him a few times, so he was nice to me and he goes, I'm going to let it slide this time. Good advice always. Make friends with transfer station guys.
No kidding.
But I just didn't have that much stuff in my truck. And so the idea of paying a $25 charge, if you're in King County, that seems excessive to me. Does that seem a little much for you?
A 400%, 500% increase from $5 to $20 or $25?
Does it seem like a lot?
It does seem like a lot.
I don't want stuff to fall on the road. I don't even mind a penalty, but a 500% increase penalty?
Yeah, that seems excessive. I mean, has there been a problem with unsecured loads causing dangerous situations for people?
So much that they need to jump it up by 500%?
I mean,
I doubt it.
They sin tax us for alcohol and cigarettes because they're trying to curb the behavior.
Yeah.
Same thing with the carbon credits. They're trying to curb the behavior.
Isn't it responsible of me? I'm literally going to a place where I can dump off recycling stuff. I can take stuff and put it in the proper bins.
But to be fair to the state, you don't abuse the policy. I'm sure there are people come up and they're stacking, they're throwing stuff on top of their build or their load of garbage.
Correct.
To go to the transfer station.
Correct.
And they're just heaping up like the clamp. It's going to Beverly Hills.
It's up to me whether or not I'm gonna, it's up to me whether or not I want to get penalized. I could just secure my load.
Yeah, there you go.
But
yeah, you're right.
But $20 in my case, $25.
You only forget once, right?
Yeah, I'm never going to forget again. I want to share that with you. Anyway, in Olympia, folks were saying, listen, all these new taxes that are kicking in, these are getting pricey. This is Janice. She's from Forks.
Please think about the people of the state of Washington, that the taxes are too high and it's just going to cause everything to get more and more expensive. they'll see that there's a little ground swelling that hopefully will grow, and they listen to numbers.
It's Todd Porter. He's from Lacey. He also spoke.
People are finally fed up with it all. We're not going to stand for a state income tax. Don't like the taxes we got now. Our gas tax is absolutely out of control. Because when government finds a way to take money from one group, they learn to take money from another group.
Well, he's not wrong. I mean, they do.
Yeah, they do find a way to spread the pain.
Find a way to take money. Yep. This is a guy who says that he's actually leaving the state, and we've talked about this before on the show. There are a lot of people who've decided that Washington is a very expensive state to live in, and there are other options out there. In fact, next hour we're going to talk about how businesses. We have a stat on the survivability of a business that will blow your mind. I shouldn't be surprised by it, but the numbers still kind of shocked me.
The numbers was jaw-dropping.
Jaw-dropping.
Yeah, and we need businesses to come to the state and open and thrive in this state. That's our tax base.
But next segment, we're going to tell you how many businesses have failed in Washington State and one of the reasons why they fail. We'll get into. But listen to this guy. He talks about just they're moving out of state.
Raised my two boys. My oldest lives here in Lacey. My younger son is in the U.S. Army.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. He's a great
Big
kid.
crowd on
19 years old, killing it. He's going to be
I don't think there was too many people there.
diver in the Army.
It's New Year's Day. I think it's like New Year weekend. That's a tough time to go.
Less than 100 in the world. I mean, I love this country. I'm done. My wife and I just sold our houses.
Oh, no.
We sold all of our belongings. We're moving to Florida next week because I'm so sick of Mom Ferguson, Jay Hensley. They have absolutely.
You don't mind him going?
I don't know. I have a real problem.
I don't want to see him go.
I don't want to see him. Maybe he's a nice guy.
Leave.
He sold my houses. I'm going to move to Florida. I made my money. I'm going to take my money.
That's not what he said. He said, I want to keep my money. Should he be allowed to keep his money?
Of course he should. It's a free country. Move to Florida.
Yeah.
Good luck. Don't drink the water. Take water with you. It smells like the backside of an alligator.
You go to Florida. You have family in
I've
Florida.
got family in Florida. I don't visit very often. And I lived there for a year.
Yeah.
I didn't shower for the entire year. The water smelled so bad. No, we got a wonderful state.
It's a very humid state.
It's a humid state, but the groundwater is, I don't know what's in the rock down there, in the dirt down there.
Snakes.
It's horrible. Bugs the size of bottle caps.
Yeah.
Those are the small ones.
I would rather people stay. I would rather people stay, and I'd rather.
I'm being a little facetious. I would rather people stay. I would rather we weren't taxed into oblivion.
Keep their money.
I can't wait to hear the number on how many businesses we're driving.
Coming up. Stick around.
And so we are set.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game. A single-season franchise record of 14 wins. The fourth #1 seed in franchise history.
Reaction. Just incredibly proud of them. Conversation.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Complete coverage at mynorthwest.com. And the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nia Hergaris with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. As parents, we want our children to grow up healthy and strong. That means helping teens take responsibility for their health as they become young adults. One way to do that is to make sure they have one-on-one time with their pediatrician. That helps them become comfortable talking about any health issue with their doctors and with you. So make sure to give your teen a voice. It's good for their health. For more on teen health, visit healthychildren.org.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Over 20 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump administration officials and others are facing the future of Venezuela following Saturday's U.S. military invasion to arrest and bring President Nicolas Maduro to the U.S. to face drug trafficking charges. It was a U.S. operation. The post-Maduro scenario was weighed by the intelligence and military communities. CBS's Olivia Gazis.
In the short term, the agency found stability was most likely to come from people who were close to the Maduro system itself, and that senior regime figures, including the vice president, now President Delcy Rodriguez, already controlled the military, the security services, all of the machinery of the government.
Maria Corina Machado, the leader of Venezuela's opposition party, says interim President Delcy Rodriguez was one of the main architects of Maduro's oppressive regime. In an exclusive interview, Machado tells CBS's Tony DeCopel,
"It sounds like you're saying she's done a lot of bad in the past, but now she is a puppet of the United States."
Well, I will not speculate once again. I think she is in a very critical position because nobody trusts her. Nobody.
You can see more of the interview on tonight's CBS Evening News. Greenland and Denmark are calling for a speedy meeting with Washington's top diplomat after President Trump's renewed claims on the self-governing Danish territory. Tom Høyem, former minister of Greenland for the government of Denmark, tells BBC News.
And if Mr. Trump would come with such an offer, do not know how the Danes are. You do not know how the Greenlandic people are. We are not for sale.
The White House says President Trump has made it well known that acquiring Greenland is a national security priority of the U.S., and the president and his team are discussing a range of options. The Trump administration is withholding funding to help needy families with children in 5 states governed by Democrats. Officials cited fraud concerns as a reason for the action targeting California, Colorado, Illinois, Minnesota, and New York. Officials in the state say the administration is motivated by politics. Opening statements started today in the trial of former Uvalde schools officer Adrian Gonzalez. He's accused in the slow response to the mass shooting that left 19 students and 2 teachers dead in 2022. CBS's Jason Allen on what the defense is saying.
They acknowledge to them that this is a trial that's going to change them. They said they will not be the same person, the same people after seeing what they see and listening to what they hear in the expected 2 weeks of this trial. So they asked people to put that aside. It was a chaotic, confusing situation, they said in their opening statements, and that Adrian Gonzalez was acting.
The Dow closes above 49,000 for the first time, and the S&P 500 sets another record high. The Dow closed up 485 points. NASDAQ jumped 151. S&P 500 was up 43. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Coming up, fresh powder and difficult driving in the mountains today. Let's get to Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, the Emerald Queen Casino's got our update. Crews just wrapped up repairs to that water main in South Seattle, so all northbound lanes of East Marginal Way are back open just before the West Seattle Bridge. North 5 at I-90, we've still got this crash partially blocking the off-ramp to I-90. It's at the very end of the ramp, mostly on the right shoulder. North 5 on the main line, you're slow from the Michigan curve in the downtown. South 5 gets a little crowded there, Lake City Way, and that continues to I-90. Linwood to Seattle will take you 20 minutes. Southbound 405, we're slow from Factoria into Renton. Bellevue to Renton has gone up a bit to 25 minutes. South 5 beginning to fill in along South Center, so Seattle to Federal Way, we're now pushing a half hour. And we have a wind advisory this afternoon at the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Live professional boxing is back with the main event February 6th at the Emerald Queen Casino. The main event powered by WFC February 6th, only at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. It is a welcome forecast for skiers and snowboarders as a winter storm is set to drop up to 4 feet of snow in the Cascades this week. KIRO News Radio meteorologist Ted Biener.
Well, we really need this snow at this point. Right now, here we are in early January. We're running between 45 to 60% of what we normally would have this time of year.
Well, some of that is due to a series of warm atmospheric rivers that soaked the mountains last month, melting the snow. State Patrol troopers say they've arrested 4 minors after a high-speed chase in Marysville this morning. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun reports the driver there topped speeds of more than 100 miles per hour.
Troopers say the suspects sped onto 4th Street, heading west under I-5, before trying to merge back onto the highway. That's when they lost control on the ramp. All 4 passengers jumped out and ran, but troopers quickly caught up. All of them are now in custody.
City of Lakewood is celebrating a full year with no homicides in 2025.
I'm Jillian Raftery. Crime was down in almost every category, including a 25% drop in aggravated assault and a 50% drop in sexual assault. Police leadership believes strategic changes like new technology, full-time patrols in the business district, and strong community partnerships allowed officers to be more proactive and intervene before some crimes escalated. 3
ferry boats remain out of service because of mechanical issues. WashDOT's Justin Fukuoka tells KIRO 7 TV one of the boats on the Seattle to Bremerton routes will be out for about 3 weeks.
Unfortunately, it's kind of been a series of unfortunate events that kind of just rolled out here in the new year. We do have our teams working hard on these situations.
Other 2 ferries are affecting sailings to Vashon Island and Seattle to Bainbridge. Once a boat does come back into service, Fujioka says it'll go to the route that needs it the most. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Again, rainy and windy for lower elevations today. Heavy mountain snow for the next few days. Right now, 45 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 fantastic hour to go. Lots of great stuff to get to. We didn't even have a chance to start with this because we had all that city, who's arresting who for drugs.
Who's not arresting anybody.
Who's not arresting.
Right.
Are they diverted? Are they going to a treatment program? All that stuff was what we started the show with. And now we have a story out of Vancouver, city of Vancouver, which I find really interesting and I think is an interesting conversation.
Okay.
So the city of Vancouver is suing the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway, the BNSF. And the reason they're suing them is because apparently that company, against city policy, has put up, have you seen these these deterrents that they will put up so birds don't land on things?
The spiky, pointy spike things, yeah, at the
Go
ferry
to the grocery
terminals.
store, ferry terminals.
The entrance to the metro.
Oh, that's right. They're having that poop problem.
Yeah, they are. And
birds.
World Cup's coming to town.
There you go. So they put those up. They also so those are bird deterrents. They also have deterrents for people so they don't set up tents and like homeless encampments.
Like the rocks.
Yes.
And the spikes.
Yes.
And the bumps.
You've seen these on I-5. They have these through Seattle on I-5.
You ever go to New York City? They're everywhere
it's been
now.
Years since
They're
I've been
everywhere
here.
now.
Are they really?
You remember when you used to have like a rail that they would put the spikes on so people don't sit on a rail?
Yeah.
Right, on like a handrail?
Yes.
Now they're everywhere in New York City.
That's depressing.
Any flat spot that people used to squat on or camp on or sleep on.
You don't mean a handrail.
No, but they're
what's the point of a handrail if you got spikes on it? Don't you want people to hold those?
Well, no, they're there so people don't sit on them. People still use them for support and to hold because the spikes they're just like bumps. They're just
okay.
bumps.
Yeah.
But they make it an uncomfortable place to rest.
Gotcha.
Which is essentially what these stones are, these homeless stones.
Yeah.
And so BSFN, Burlington Northern Santa Fe, put them in their yard.
BNSF. Yeah. Just the train. You just call it the train.
Okay.
They, outside of their facility, they put up a bunch of large boulders. And the city is now saying this is against city policy because you're basically stopping people from being able to set up tents on your property. And BNSF now is saying, well, we're just going to sit and wait. And we're going to see how much the city's. I'm going to read this to you. This is on where did I see this story? This is a K2,
my old station.
KATU. Did you work for K2?
I worked for K2. I sold advertising for K2.
They're down in Portland, right?
Yep.
But this is Vancouver, so it's very close to Portland.
Portland's just a suburb of, or Vancouver's a suburb of Portland.
There you go. So here you go. On December 5th, BNSF placed the boulders in the right-of-way after requesting the city's assistance to clear sidewalks for repairs between October and November of 2024. Let's see here. Then the city claims, and it has demanded that BNSF remove these boulders. They've now claimed that they removed them 5 times. They're creating a public hazard, they say, to have these boulders there. Court documents reveal that a BNSF maintenance manager, again, this is all from K2, suggested the city change its municipal code to prevent encampments in the public right-of-way, stating that the company will, quote, wait to see what the city attorney's office levies against BNSF. So to me, it sounds like they're saying, if all you can do is fine us a small amount of money, it's cheaper for us.
Well, we'd rather pay the money than have people squatting on our property.
And have people living on our property, which also I would think is a huge insurance liability.
Safety issue,
for these
insurance
companies.
issue, you bet. Yeah,
if somebody, and it's not out of the realm of possibility, it's somebody harms themselves accidentally doing drugs on your property.
Sure, or a fire starts and a bunch of people, God forbid.
Yeah.
But so anything can happen in an encampment on your property. You bet.
And so they're saying, no, we're not going to take these down. And now the city is now seeking a restraining order to compel them to remove the boulders, which would then allow the city to do so. If the company completely refuses, just says we're not doing it.
If it's just a matter of money, money doesn't bother you, let's find something else.
I'm going to play a little bit of this. This is a little bit of the K2 piece. This is Greta Chrislip. She lives in a tent right near BNSF. And if you see these pictures on K2, the boulders are working. She's sleeping to the side of the boulders, but the boulders are working, and were they not there, she could spread out more.
Well, she wouldn't be alone.
And she probably wouldn't be alone. You're right.
I've tripped over them. I've fallen over them. We understand that, it's a difficult situation between us and the city and the railroad, but it's uncalled for.
She's saying the boulders are uncalled for, and she says as a Christmas present, she says it would be a blessing to have them removed. Call it an early Christmas present. So I assume they did this interview prior to Christmas. Or she's talking about next year, I guess, which is unlikely. Spike, what do you think about this? Do you think that the railway is in violation of the city, or is the city being silly and instead unreasonably asking the railway to make room for people to make encampments on their property?
Because the city's not doing it. The city's not providing services enough for the people who are experiencing homelessness in the city of Portland.
Sure.
Those people have to be somewhere, and the city isn't providing space for them. They're going to go where they're going to have to go. And I think Burlington, Northern Santa Fe is within their rights to, I don't want them on my property. You want them to fence around, because this is the area between the street and the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. Like that little grass plot in front of your house if you live in the city.
Yeah.
This is in front of their business, and there's plenty of barbed wire fencing around their property, but that's between the street and their property. It's their property.
Take care of.
It's very difficult.
But you got
for me
a big heart.
It is. It's very difficult for me to blame people who are experiencing homelessness for being homeless. I mean, oftentimes It's actions that they've taken, decisions they've made in their life that lead them to where they are today.
Sure, and there's addiction
Oftentimes
issues.
it's not.
Which
Yes,
they're not making right decisions.
Right,
Yeah, I get all that.
and I wish cities had the resources to care for all the people who need care. These people who are experiencing homelessness obviously need care. We have this conversation in so many different facets on a repeated basis.
Yeah.
I always thought those bumps on benches, so people can't sleep on a bench. Bench wasn't made to be slept on. I get it. It's made for people to sit on. If it was somebody sleeping on it, you can't sit on it. I get that they put those things there, but it just seems so heartless. I hate that the lack of resources a city devotes to this community, the lack of resources devoted to these communities across the country, not just Portland or Seattle or anywhere else or New York, is heartbreaking. And the only feasible financial alternative is to make these places unwelcome to those who are living on the streets.
Yeah.
It's tough. I don't know where I come down on this.
What sucks for a company like BNSF is they're basically having to pick up the pieces that the city has dropped.
Exactly.
But is that fair it seems unfair to me for the city then to turn around and say, well, we're going to sue you for not taking care of our problem.
We're in agreement on that.
But it also, you could back up even further. You could say like, well, this is not the city's problem either. These homeless people are not the city's problem. Like the city
dealing with them is, but they're not the reason that people are homeless.
I guess in how you deal with them.
Yeah.
But like a city like Vancouver, which is a smaller city, it's not a Seattle. So I disagree with you also somewhat in the idea that you're not dedicating enough resources to the problem. I don't know how much you're spending in Vancouver to deal with this issue.
Well, when I say you're right. That was an errant statement on my part. That's not that they're not dedicating enough resources to it. They're mismanaging the resources that are dedicated to these communities.
Are they choosing the most effective? We were talking to Andrea Suarez yesterday from We Heart Seattle, and she was saying, listen, nobody wants to see people on the streets. People acting in their best nature and with the best intentions who work for the city want to see people off the streets. They don't want to see homeless people. They don't want to see people dying of drug overdoses, things like that. Right. But like Andrea Suarez pointed out, sometimes people get locked into ideologies that aren't actually helpful, and they're mismanaging funds, which could actually go a really long way. Like imagine if they had spent, like in King County, or is it, I don't know if it's Washington State or just, I think it's just King County.
That's the $2.2 billion?
The $2.2 billion over the last 2 years that they have spent. $90,000 per homeless person in our state. Imagine if that money had been spent in a way that actually helped the person and not just went into this big giant chum of
bureaucracy and
scrum of bureaucracy and where's the money going?
Yeah.
And then you end up with places like Vancouver where you have a company who's now being sued by the city and now they're talking about restraining orders. That doesn't seem right to me. And then also you have this girl who wants a Christmas present, who wants to...
I just want to live on the streets in peace and a flat place to sleep. That's heartbreaking that's her dream.
Yeah.
Is to have a flat piece of dirt to set her tent up on. You're right. I mean, if these resources were dedicated to, vocational training or addiction recovery or all the things that can do to help eliminate this problem, then...
When they talk to this girl, I'm going to play you a clip of her again. When they talk to this girl, does she sound drug addicted to you?
I've tripped over them. I've fallen over them. We understand that, it's a difficult situation between us and the city and the railroad, but it's uncalled for.
Her name's Greta. I can't, it's tough to diagnose somebody in a 13-second clip just based on how they're speaking, but there is
we get the benefit of watching her face, watching this clip from K2. This isn't a drug addict. This isn't a ne'er-do-well. It doesn't seem to me. It's like you said, it's tough to make an assessment over a 15-second video clip, media clip.
But there's got to be something, because I think to myself, why is this? She's a young person. She doesn't look like she's over 35 years old. I mean, unless she's a very youthful old person. Yeah. I don't know, but she looks like she's under 35 years old. Why is she sleeping in a tent on somebody else's property? And who's responsible for that? It's not the BNSF. And if the city of Vancouver is saying that it is, in a way, because you have to clear these boulders so that she has more space to spread out,
that's wrong.
That seems crazy to me. Yeah. So I don't know what you do with that. And then, all right, we should move on to this other topic because it relates.
It's heartbreaking, and we'll go round and round on this.
It relates. Yeah. There's a new study out. Washington business survival rates in our state. This is the one we referenced last hour. We were saying you're going to be shocked by this number. In the entire country, you might be surprised or not surprised, depending on what you think of the state, that Washington State is the most difficult state to start a new business in. And if you start a business in Washington State, so here's a comparison. If you were to go anywhere else in the country, on average, a new business has about a 51% survival rate after 5 years. to get to the 5-year mark. Once you get to the 5-year mark, that separates a new business from a business that's been
growing
established
period.
enough.
Yeah.
So you've worked out the kinks. You've gotten, you've figured out who your client base is. You've probably figured out how to pay people effectively. And
you've managed material costs. You've managed the cost of doing business.
Half a decade.
Yeah.
You're in. Doesn't mean you're going to last forever, but you're on pretty good footing. So if you can, in Washington, in the rest of the country, that's only about 51% of businesses get to that point, which shows you how hard it is to start a business. In Washington State, that number is only 41%. So in the rest of the country, it's a little less than a coin flip, whether or not your business is going to be successful, depending on all these different factors. There's some states that are more friendly, so it's less than it's more than a coin flip. But on average, in Washington State, it's 41%. So you have almost a 60% chance to fail at a business in Washington State. And then you have to ask yourself, why? So listen to some of these numbers. Out of the 22, and this is all from SeattleRed.com, I had this article. You can read about it there, SeattleRed.com. Out of the 22,326 businesses that opened their doors in 2019, only 9,183 were still in business as of 2024. So 60% of those, which I guess those numbers make sense. 60% of those businesses essentially.
That's the right math numbers. Yeah,
didn't make it.
Yeah, but I got to just for a second. I would have to, not to be making excuses, and I know we're taxing, and we're a very difficult state to do business in through our policies. I understand that completely. Restaurants being the most difficult business to start with, the toughest place in the country.
Restaurants are tough.
But I also think COVID had a lot to do with it. A lot of businesses went away because of COVID. I think I'd like to see numbers from a 5-year period,
from 14 to 19.
14 to 19.
Sure.
See if it was the same amount of half the businesses closing up shop. And the point of this, everybody went through COVID, not just Seattle.
Yeah.
The point of this article, and it's an accurate point, is that Seattle's the worst country or the worst state in America to start a business in. We have the lowest percentage of businesses that survive 5 years. In those 5 years,
I would think
Seattle's the worst, or Washington's the worst.
But again, a lot of that is policy stuff on the.
I agree.
At the state.
That's why we're the worst state in America to start a business in, because the policy's in place. I wonder if that number is the same without COVID closing down a lot of businesses.
Well, let's factor in COVID we're talking about COVID numbers for the rest of the country as well.
Right.
And different states do have different policies.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, there were states like Florida who said, "Hey, we're going to stay open." There were states like Washington who said, "Hey, businesses, you're closing. We're going to shut you down. You can't do business. Nobody can come inside." All these different things.
Right.
Policy decisions that were made by politicians that affected the business community hugely. And, yes, those were all COVID extreme circumstances.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of other things. Like, we have the B&O tax.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about, the whole, like I said, the whole country went through COVID. Different states had different policies that affected the business's likelihood to survive. But we are the worst in the country.
It seems that way.
It's hard to find any way to purse this that's not saying, hey, our cost of doing business,
second place
regulations
to us,
and whatnot.
The other state that was difficult was Missouri, and then the District of Columbia, which of course is not a state. But
DC is a small sample set too. So.
And they're they have there's a whole host of different things that they're dealing with in DC. It's very difficult to run a business in Washington State. And one of the reasons Charlie Harger points out in a piece, which is really interesting, is theft that happens in businesses in Washington State. Yeah, and the response to theft.
Yeah, it's funny. We're the last place in the country you want to start a business, but we're the first place in the country you want to steal from that business.
That's the truth.
Was it Kirkland? The highest percentage of retail theft? Was it a particular community?
Let's see here. Yes, you might be right about that. Yeah. Washington ranks number 1 nationally in retail theft. I didn't see the Kirkland, but
maybe
I'm sure
maybe
right.
we're stealing from Costco.
You could be right about that.
Okay.
But what's interesting about this article that Charlie has, you can read about this at My Northwest, they have kind of solved this problem in Issaquah. And a problem that they are still having in King County has been solved in Issaquah, which is, you could probably guess at what the solve is. Do you want to take a guess? I think you've already read the article.
You lock up everything? No, I didn't read the article. You lock up everything?
Well, you lock up the people stealing the things.
Oh.
Because as we know, as we know in Washington State, as in almost every big city, the people who are actually committing these crimes, like when you talk about a business like a Rite Aid, which are there even Rite Aids anymore?
No.
Or you talk about I don't even think there's any 24-hour pharmacies in Seattle anymore. Haven't they all basically been chased out of town?
I think you're right. CVS is around, but they're not 24.
Yeah. And so the people who are going in and committing these crimes, a lot of them are just repeat offenders. So you might have like 900 retail crimes that could actually be attributed to about 25 people who are going into all these places. So just lock these people up. And that's what they decided, this groundbreaking thing. They said, hey, in Issaquah, what if we try something crazy? What if we lock up somebody who's stealing? And so Charlie has in this piece, it's really interesting. Issaquah Police Department posted on Facebook, they ran a shoplifting sting at Marshall's and Home Goods in the Highlands. Now, one, you got to have some guts to go up into the Highlands and start stealing. Have you been to the Highlands recently?
Mm-mm.
It is deep. To get up to the Highlands,
Yeah,
you got to drive a long way.
Oh,
if your
okay.
goal is to go in and steal things,
Okay, I got you.
it's a long way to get into the Highlands. But anyway, you go into the Highlands, and they set up some shoplifting stings, and then the people who they found, who they were on camera, and they got them shoplifting, they're like, wait a minute, you're arresting me. You're going to book me into jail, because Issaquah has their own jail. They don't arrest for shoplifting. This is a minor crime. In places like Seattle, they just...
Well, they're told not to even engage with
You
shoplifters
don't even
in many
engage.
places.
You let them walk out.
Yeah.
And Issaquah said, nope, we lock you up here. And now shoplifting is down 15% because somebody has gotten the message. They have spread it out there. And a lot of them are shoplifting rings, too. They're not just all like just crazy people off the streets.
No, I hear you. And they're for resale. They put these things on black market. I mean, you opened my eyes to this a few months ago about how the TJ Maxx is up in North Seattle or what was just going out of business because it was the theft problems were so bad.
All their products is just walking out the door
And I walk
and
up
being
to the public,
sold
I walk
on
up
the
to
street.
this public assisted housing just up the street, and there's an open air market of stolen goods.
I saw a video the other night. You may have seen this too, but I saw a video the other night. It was outside one of these pharmacies, a grocery store. They went into the store. They come out. The store shuts down at 8 o'clock. They close their doors because it's just too dangerous to stay open past 8 p.m. And they set up this market where these guys who are clearly addicted to drugs, because they have that bent over thing that they're doing.
Yeah, you bet.
They're doing that bent over zombie thing. And these poor guys are pulling out. I say poor guys because the drug addict thing is sad. They pull out their wares that they're now selling, and it's like laundry detergent, it's deodorants, whatever they could shove into their pockets.
Right.
And then sell on the front of the street. And then people are literally walking down the street like, oh, I'll buy that deodorant. And I normally have to pay $7 for that.
Black market, you bet.
Yeah. You have any non-aluminum ones? Getting very specific.
Let me get my manager on the phone.
Isn't that...
That's heartbreaking.
So in Issaquah, they figured it out. So 15% drop in Issaquah.
Let's hope other communities follow suit.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We got Chris Sullivan next, who is going to join us. We have a lot of traffic, unfortunately, coming our way.
Yeah.
And
we got boat news, we got traffic news, we got some good news too.
We got boat propeller news.
Yeah.
Today in boat propeller news, it's going to be a segment on the show. Chris Sullivan's going to join us next. So stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
After voters made it clear they want change,
that I will faithfully conduct myself as the mayor of the city of Seattle.
What should Seattle residents expect from Mayor Katie Wilson?
She talked a lot about our affordability crisis.
Northwest News voices you depend on.
It's a misdiagnosis of the problem. You believe government can solve this problem.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM. The KIRO News Radio app with opinion and analysis at mynorthwest.com.
For seniors, the new year is a good time to reassess finances. If you're struggling with bills, our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be a great way to ease your stress.
Seniors tell me all the time, we love our home, we'd love to stay here, but we just can't afford it anymore. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off your debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let your home work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me. Never a sales pitch and never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage experts, the VA loan and debt consolidation experts too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
John Curley here. As humans, we value things that last. Local businesses, long-term relationships, people who have been in the community for years. That's Madrona Financial and CPAs. For decades, they've been serving Washingtonians, and what makes them different? They combine taxes and investments under one roof. Most firms do one or the other, but not both. Taxes are often your biggest retirement expense, bigger than travel or healthcare. Yet most never get a clear look at how taxes and investments fit together. That's why Madrona offers the Madrona Analysis. It's an easy-to-understand review of your retirement picture, income, taxes, investments, all working together in one coordinated plan. Best of all, it's conversational. You'll talk with someone who explains it all in plain English. Discover hidden tax traps, see if your portfolio matches income needs, and learn steps to retire with confidence. Call 833-673-7373 for your complimentary Madrona Analysis. Madrona Financial and CPAs, local, trusted, and here to put the whole picture together.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. The real estate market is picking up and you want to sell with the best. You need to work with the Novak team. Mike Novak guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If not, he'll sell it for free. Go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell it for you. Meet the Novaks Novaks.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. This weekend marks the start of a big repair job on the Ship Canal Bridge. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch with details.
The Ship Canal Bridge along I-5 is the most heavily traveled bridge in Seattle, and this weekend brings a major disruption across the bridge, which will snarl traffic. Washington Transportation Secretary Julie Meredith.
We will fully close northbound I-5 this weekend from I-90 to Northeast 45th Street starting at midnight, January 9th, and reopening at 5 a.m., January 12th.
The closure will allow the setup of safe construction zones to protect workers for an extended restoration and 2 northbound lane closures through 2026. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Washington Congressman Adam Smith got a classified briefing last night on the raid that captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. Smith, the top Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee, tells CNN.
When President Trump says that we're running Venezuela and starts talking about how we're doing this for the oil, that really undermines the ability to have any sort of effective transition, because the people of Venezuela don't want to be ruled by the United States of America.
He called the raid a clear violation of the UN Charter. White House says Maduro is a narco-terrorist who destabilized the region. He and his wife pleaded not guilty yesterday in New York to drug trafficking charges. Seattle City Council has now elected its new president.
9 in favor, none opposed.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Council President Joy Hollingsworth.
That is District 3 Council Member Joy Hollingsworth. The fourth-generation Seattleite was born and raised in the Central District. Today, the King County Council welcomed a special guest to its meeting.
This is Jeopardy!
Jeopardy host and Edmonds native Ken Jennings was recognized today for his advocacy for cancer research and his work on the game show.
It's a great side hustle, but it does leave me time to, still be part of the Seattle community and help out where I can.
Jennings began hosting Jeopardy as a guest in 2021 after the passing of Alex Trebek. Takes us to 2:33 now. We go to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connor.
Thanks, Aaron. The Emerald Queen Casino brings us our update. Let's start you in Pierce County. We've got some issues through Tacoma North 5 just before the Tacoma Dome. We've got a collision blocking the HOV lane, and then just up the road past the Tacoma Dome, a separate collision partially blocking that HOV lane. I have a feeling we're going to fully block that HOV lane once first responders arrive. Out in Gig Harbor, westbound 16, it's packed from the west end of the Narrows up to Olympic Drive, where we just cleared an earlier collision. Here in Seattle, South 5 turns into bumper-to-bumper volumes approaching the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown, taking about 20 minutes to travel between Linwood and Seattle. North 5 is heavy from the Michigan curve in the downtown. Southbound 405 now slows from 520 all the way to that Renton landing, 25 minutes between Bellevue and Renton. Seattle to Federal Way is up to 35 minutes. You're crowded from the Duwamish curve all the way to South 272nd and Federal Way. Live professional boxing is back with the main event February 6th at the Emerald Queen Casino. The main event powered by WFC, February 6th only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We have rain and wind today, heavy mountain snow, winter storm warning in effect for the Cascades. That runs through Thursday, 2 to 4 feet at higher elevations. Right now, 45 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got Chris Sullivan joining us right now. He is the Choke Points
Captain Choke Point.
Captain Choke Point. And he tells us what's happening on the roads. But before we get into what's happening on the roads, Chris.
Yeah.
I noticed that you're all decked out in Montana State football gear. Pretty exciting night last night.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
My mother-in-law, who also went to Montana State
years
and years ago, I don't think she was in class with your son. She would have been...
That'd have been awkward.
That would have been weird.
I don't know. Seniors going back to school is a thing.
Yeah, not with him being the age that he is. I don't know what the thing's been.
I meant her going to school.
The math doesn't line up.
No, it doesn't work.
At all. But so she was texting us last night. She's like, Montana State's going to be on. We're going to watch the game. And so she was very, very excited. I got a chance. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have tuned in. But what an amazing game. So they are FCS champions.
Yeah, there were
and it all came
national
down
champs.
To a player named Taco. Let's hear it.
4th down in overtime. They bring pressure. Lamson throws. End zone. Caught! Touchdown! Taco down!
Overtime. Yeah, 4th and 10.
It's a gutsy play call.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Yeah, that was one of the most drunk games I can ever imagine. Not me in terms of in terms of what I consumed,
in attendance.
But the play of the game was just drunk. It was like it didn't know what it was doing. It was just up and down and here and
First
there.
half was all Bobcats. Second half was all Redbirds.
Yeah, it was
nuts.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, the time
block
of
field
possession,
goal attempt.
But the Bobcats pulled it out, right? And
yeah.
So Taco Dowler, is that
Taco
his name?
Dowler, his twin brother Caden, defensive player of the year, got injured in the semifinal game. Tried to play last night, got injured in the first half, so he didn't get to play.
That's fine.
But yeah, Taco.
Back to the name.
Taco's
Taco.
the man. Taco's been making plays like you cannot cover this dude. He's been making plays like this since he was a freshman.
He had a couple great touchdowns last night.
Oh, incredible. I mean, things where you thought people had him. And for why we're talking about this, just in case you know, is because Tommy went to Montana State.
Your
If
son.
people have forgot, my son graduated last year.
Scholarship player.
Yeah, 57 straight starts at Montana State, school record.
I thought there'd be a drop-off in long snaps, but he trained the kid under him very well.
I'm not going to say the true freshman had his moments, but he was dialed in last night, unlike the long snapper from Illinois State. That kid struggled, and that led to a potential game-winning field goal missed and the extra point in overtime being missed. His snaps were bad. And so we had our good friend Miles Sandstead, Tommy's kicker, for the last couple of seasons, had a walk-off extra point.
Fantastic.
To win
For a
the
national
national championship.
for a natty.
It's crazy. As I said, this game was drunk. It didn't make any sense.
It was very exciting, but the number of audience members who care has dwindled down to just
four
you.
of us. The four of us right now.
My
Honestly, we're
mother-in-law,
second glass of wine since we started this conversation.
who doesn't listen to the show live, so she's not even hearing it right now.
Oh, well, go Cats go.
It was
Go
fun to
Cats go.
watch, man.
First title since
great.
'84. Little Joe's Tommy wasn't on the team, but boy, so how we were texting friends and
Yeah,
family
but you know
who were
what?
there.
That
So
team,
unreal.
Tommy helped them. They had to build up to that, and it
was
took a few
amazing.
seasons, and he was part of that.
Unreal that they finally got over the hump. So happy for him.
Very cool.
We're out of time.
All right,
Okay,
let's
great.
get back. Two things we want to discuss,
Yeah.
not just football. We want to
Ferries?
discuss Washington State ferry
Okay.
system. You have one boat that was already down because of a sheared off propeller.
Yeah, the Walla Walla, the part of the propeller sheared off.
Do they know why?
No, they don't yet because they haven't got it completely up into dry dock as of yet.
I'm not a boat master, but isn't like the one thing you want to make sure you have on a boat is a propeller?
Well, just think about we've run into things like this before, where primarily where the propeller doesn't get sheared off, but like where something like a crab pot with a line gets caught up and gets all the way up into the gears and grinds it, and then the propeller breaks because of that. The shaft has an issue, but in this case, it sounds like it was sheared off, which is very difficult to do.
Are we thinking Puget?
Yeah,
Puget
well,
Sound Monster? Is that what we're
who
thinking?
knows what was out there?
A whale, a headache.
Considering all the flooding we've had, what was out in sound. So
that's
debris. Who knows?
But to shear off a propeller, I imagine
you
would
hit a
have to
tree
be-
trunk. He's
Yeah,
pretty heavy.
if you're going at speed and you slam into something, or part of something that was washed away, who knows?
It's but the odds of a propeller being sheared off, I imagine,
Pretty
are
unlikely.
Pretty unlikely because if you're generally these boats, I've been on them a few times. They tend to go forward. Propellers are usually in the back, so any
Oftentimes.
debris that they might hit is usually cleared out of the way by hitting it in the front. I see it all the time.
Yeah.
They hit the front of the boat. It's crazy they got sheared off.
Yeah, so
that one's out of service.
Yeah, so they're going to get that up in the dry dock. They're going to replace both propellers while they're in
Now
there.
they're taking out-of-state bids for a new propeller. Is that going to slow down the process?
No,
or-
they're going to. I believe they're going to 3D print those.
Oh, great!
They're water solid, water safe. It's fine.
Smart.
So no, there's the Bremerton run is down a boat. They've got a mechanical there. They're
It's
not
an oil
quite sure
tube
about
issue, right?
What's that?
It's an oil tube
Correct.
issue.
And then hopefully the Vashon Triangle will get its third boat back today.
Can't call the triangle if there's only one. Is there one boat?
Well, no, there are two boats that go to three different places.
points.
That's
The
why we
triangle's
call,
the route, not
Even
the-
if there's
yeah.
only one boat, it can still do a triangle. It's just going to be
I
very
suppose
lonely.
it's a slow triangle. But I was seeing in this article, I was reading about it, and I think it was the Seattle Times, or I don't know where it was. But they were saying that now people they're pinning all their hopes on the Wenatchee.
Right.
They're saying that's the only boat that's going to be servicing right now. So you have to just pay attention to the one boat now instead of the two boat route. But it's the Wenatchee, which historically it recently came back into service after getting converted to a hybrid electric.
Yep, and it's had some issues.
Yeah, it's being generous. It's had a lot of issues.
But it's back. It's back.
For today.
We need it.
Well, yeah.
But is that a little scary for people?
Well, we're down, if you think about it, technically 7 boats, really, because other 4 were in for regular maintenance.
Not
and so
good.
now we've kind of had these 3 emergency issues. So hopefully we'll slowly get back up to, but yeah, right now it's not a good time. Granted, lower sailing season.
Right, winter schedule's
winter
on,
schedule.
yeah.
The problem is we've got a couple of Seahawk games, hopefully more than one, coming up that people might take ferries to. It'd be nice to have a couple extra boats.
Before I'm too critical of the ferry system, I do want to say I love the people who work on the ferry boats. They're fantastic.
Yeah,
All the
work
workers
hard,
and
tough conditions.
When they show up.
Very tough conditions. Yeah, you're right. When they show up, I don't love the ones that don't show up, but the ones that are there, especially the ones that work in the snack shacks, I do like those ones a lot. And I met a listener of the show the other day. I was in there with my kids, and we're walking through. We're just trying to keep them busy so they don't kill each other.
I
in
know
the
that
car.
drill.
So you're grabbing 2 beers.
So I had 2 beers
and a box of popcorn for the kids.
and I got a popcorn to split.
Right? Yeah,
For
no.
the kids.
Hey, my
But
first trip.
The lady behind the counter, she's very nice. I didn't get the beers, actually. It was just morning time. But she took my money and she's sitting there and she's kind of chatting with a super nice lady. And she goes, I listened to the show. And I said, no way. And so we had a nice conversation. And
She's spitting your coffee for the horrible things we've said.
No.
I'm kidding.
But the workers we love, but the people who are in charge of the ferry system, namely Bob Ferguson, because he's in charge of the state.
Well,
he's attempting.
Let's not fault Big Log Ferguson for this.
No, this one
Come
could
on.
probably go straight to the legislature.
I'm not blaming.
Oh,
This one could go straight to the legislature.
Let's be clear. I'm
Okay.
not blaming him for the sheared propeller.
Okay.
But he is part of the entire organization that runs the state that has gotten to the point where we are having these boats who have aged out issues because they did not address these issues years and years ago when they should have.
Yeah, just
that's
like the boats going out is just like pavement going out because
Yeah.
those are bridges.
Yeah,
if you think about it.
It is. Good call.
And so it's just years and years of legislative underfunding or lack of prioritization.
Or prioritizing new technology versus technology for boats that have been running now successfully for 60 years. But whatever, that's another conversation. Speaking of bridges, I-5 is going to be shut down again.
Yeah,
that's going to be fun. Tell us about it.
5 months. Remember last summer, that month of hell where you were going to ride your bike every day and then get up and use light rail, and then it took you 2.5 hours to get into work? Yeah. Remember that month of hell?
I'd forgotten it.
I blacked it out.
Thanks a lot,
pal. It's kind of like childbirth until the second one comes around. And then you're like, I totally forgot about this. We've got 5 months of that coming up. 5 months of that starting this weekend. We have a full closure of northbound I-5 through the city from basically the CD lanes or James Street up through the U District.
Starting this weekend.
For
then 5 months.
Then come Monday, the 2 left lanes of the Ship Canal Bridge will be blocked 24/7 until June 5th.
The northbound this time.
The northbound. It was the northbound last summer too, and the northbound express lanes were open the whole time. And that was the thing that got you guys and me out of Snohomish County.
So we're looking at the same
hour-long delays and 5-mile backups that begin at the Nile Golf Course in Linwood every day because of so many people use those southbound express lanes.
And
they're not going to be available. 5 months. We take a 6-week break for the World Cup, and then we have another 5 months of it through the rest of the year. So basically, this whole year is going to be brutal trying to get into the city in the morning because the express lanes will never be open southbound.
All right, I want you guys right now, Chris, thank you so much for coming in.
Anytime.
I want you listeners right now, 888-973-5476. Text us your anger or text us how you're going to get through this or what you're going to be doing in your car. Hopefully listening to the
That's
show.
what I was going to say, man. Shell's Morning News will bring you through this.
Well, that was the ugly under my good and bad, the ugly for the I warned you it was happening.
Yeah, it's happening. All right, Chris Sullivan, thanks for coming in, man.
Anytime.
Go Bobcats.
Go Cats.
And we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
And so we are set.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game. A single-season franchise record of 14 wins. The 4th #1 seed in franchise history.
Reaction.
Just incredibly proud of them.
Conversation.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Complete coverage at mynorthwest.com. And the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-Check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
John Curley here. You know that moment when your house feels colder than it should? You turn up the thermostat and nothing? For over a decade, I've trusted the team at Home Comfort Alliance. They show up when they say they will, and they get straight to work, and they do it right. They've been keeping homes comfortable for over 40 winters. Remember, for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, including standby generators, call the Comfort People, Home Comfort Alliance, or visit homecomfortalliance.com.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got 3 options. Number 1, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TilaMortgage.com. Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free delivery. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Say goodbye to clogged gutters and climbing ladders. With K-Guard by Guardian, leaves stay out, water flows freely, and your home stays protected year-round. Enjoy true peace of mind. No maintenance and no rust. Choose from a variety of colors to match your home's look and boost your curb appeal. Ready for hassle-free gutters? Protect what matters most with Guardian, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit GuardianRoofing.com to learn more.
Start the new year taking active liver supplements from New Nordic. Online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or at CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
All right, welcome back to the show. Lots of text messages. We get a ton of them. We try to respond to as many as possible. Some good ones today. Why don't we just start it right off? Laura, jump in.
Yeah, on diverting, in quotes, drug addicts away from arrests. Janet says, good Lord, what a beautiful new beginning for Seattle. We're already going bald from scratching our heads.
Ouch.
That's not a pretty picture.
You know, you could talk to you about
Janet.
that. John Curley.
John Curley, that's right.
Where is John Curley today? Is he out today?
Some medical procedure, I believe. Oh, you haven't seen it?
Are we talking about this? Are we allowed to talk about this?
He's talking about this, sure.
Has he talked about it on the air, what he's doing?
Andrew, John Curley's out today.
He's out for the time being.
For the time being, his surgery. Okay, that's what we're wondering. Has this been talked about?
Did he talk about it on his show already?
Lots. He had the surgeon on. He's been teasing it for a while.
So, So John Curley's getting a major facelift, right?
I wouldn't call it major.
I heard it's the Kris Jenner.
Really?
It's more of a neck tightening.
He's going to take Kris Jenner's face and put it on his body. It's a complete face-off type move. Yeah.
He's going to look so young. She looks very young.
Kris Jenner?
My wife's always telling me, she goes, Kris Jenner looks so great with her, whatever she's done. She looks so great. Nobody ever says it. I was going to make a Meg Ryan reference, but I said.
I was going to make a Caitlyn Jenner reference, so I'm glad. Just moving on to diverting drug addicts. 843 says, we all know not a damn thing will be done about open drug use in Seattle. And John Curley will be back when he's ready to be back.
I can't wait to see what he looks like. We should have a reveal party. Shouldn't we? Have a big reveal.
Totally
all that money we spent on staff photos. What were we thinking?
We got to get curtains in here that we could dramatically pull back.
What's he going to look like?
John Curley?
Is he supposed to look younger? Is that what he's doing? I mean, why would you?
I don't think he wants to look older.
Wrinkles.
Yeah.
Can I get bigger bags under my eyes, Doc? Sure, we can do that for you.
He's already a very youthful guy. Like, why does he need?
He's a beautiful, beautiful man.
Here's what I would have said to John if he would have asked me, which he didn't. But John, if you're listening, he's probably laying in bed right now.
It's not too late. Tap out.
Has he already done it? When is he is he done?
It's today. It's happening today.
As we speak.
Is it happening right now?
You think we're on in the operating theater?
I think you look, John, you look great just the way you are. John objectively looks really good for his age.
Don't go lifting your face to please me.
Doesn't he look great for his age, though?
Okay, but when you add
big bags
when you add for his age, that's what makes people want to get neck tightening. You look great for your age.
What is he hoping to accomplish by
He's going for a Trump turkey. He's adding. He's having.
Oh, he's
turkey,
adding.
He's adding a turkey neck.
I didn't know he was adding.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what's up? Come on.
Oh, look, the boss wants us to come in after our show.
I want him to feel good in his own skin.
Yes, no matter how tight.
Wrap yourself in your own neck skin, John.
I think we're gonna make wallets out of the extra skin. He's selling them.
Gross.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He looks. Listen, but if it makes him happy, if he wants to look good,
Nothing else matters. That's right, buddy.
Well,
we love you just the way you are.
Matter, but if he wants to do it, I guess it's done. I'm excited to see what he looks like. That'll be fun. All right. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
It's your turn.
On COVID memories, Jeff from Kent says, I have 2 neighbors that still have packages of toilet paper from COVID pandemic.
That stuff doesn't go bad.
Eventually it does if you use it.
Does it?
253. You want to read 253?
Sure. Stores were empty of toilet paper, but full of boxed and canned food. What I learned during COVID was people would rather starve.
Don't read the last word of this.
Oh, my God.
Continue and just skip the last word. Yep.
Yeah, but I'd rather starve than be caught with a dirty,
Yep. There you go. I remember looking up a recipe. Hand sanitizer was a big thing.
Mm-hmm, sure.
I remember people were making their own hand sanitizer. Do you remember that?
I remember when Heritage Distilling of Seattle turned their wares to making hand sanitizer. That was a mistake I made. Doing shots of hand sanitizer because given a Heritage bottle.
That's funny.
Man.
That is crazy. On Pete Carroll losing his job, Bobby Spanaway says, in my opinion, both Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson should be in the Hall of Fame, focusing on their accomplishments and looking at the positive things in their careers. I totally agree. I think those guys both are
Russell's done more to
premier
damage
players.
his career than Pete has. His legacy, I should say, than Pete has.
Yeah, but
I
they
think
both
they're
reached such high highs.
Yeah.
I think they've earned it.
Both worthy.
Alice on Vashon says he deserves to retire, but I bet he won't totally. I expect to hear he set up a foundation or something to support young boys or men learning to be their best. I sure hope he and his wife decide to retire in Seattle, which would be a gift for our community.
Yeah.
You think they'll come back?
No.
They're in Hawaii.
Florida, probably.
No, Pete's got a Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. He's got a
Ooh.
nice place in Hawaii.
He's got warm weather houses.
Yeah.
It's tough to come back to cold weather if you've lived in warm weather areas.
Yep.
All right. On Lego Smart Brick, Doug in Mount Vernon says Lego bricks making sounds. Ow, that hurt when you stepped on me. Quote, ow, that hurt when you stepped on me. That would be funny. I like that,
That's
Doug.
great. Here, Aaron says, maybe, just maybe, Lego should make them light up and make noise before you step on them in the middle of the night. Hey, down here!
Brett says, hey, Jake, also a good dad tip. Buy a shop vac and just use that shop vac for picking up the Legos.
And store them in there.
And store them in there. Cheap
Store
shop
them,
vac works great.
Just collect your Legos?
They did this on The Office. Do you remember on The Office when David Wallace? He gets fired, and then he's bored at home, and so he comes up with a business called Suck It. And it's just for picking up kids' toys on the floor.
That's a cat in the hat trick.
And then he sells
the
it for $20 million.
Family Gradunza. Remember that?
Yes.
Sucked up the whole right.
Yes. All right. A lot more coming up next. John Curley Show. He will not be in, but he's got some great fill-ins with very tight, beautiful faces.
Fillers or fill-ins?
Fill-ins.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Manda Factor.
Toppled by the U.S., Manuel Noriega and Nicolas Maduro.
Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna joins us to talk about how the two cases differ and what happens next for Maduro.
The snow continues to pile up in the mountains. We'll have the latest on the winter storm warning.
And of course, Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
Hope you can join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
On KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Breast cancer is a tough battle for anyone to fight. But when you can't work, care for your kids, or even put food on the table, that diagnosis can be devastating. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to support Northwest Hope and Healing. Our mission is to provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare, so patients can focus on healing. For more than 25 years, Northwest Hope and Healing has distributed over $3 million to thousands of local cancer patients, and you can help make a difference in our community. Join us on Saturday, January 31st for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of fine wine, gourmet cuisine, and inspiration at Mary Hill Winery in the heart of Woodinville wine country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support on January 31st. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got three options. Number one, sell your home. Two, get a HELOC or refinance. Or three, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled Tila, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TilaMortgage.com. Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio.